Everyone, welcome back to the Baseball Diaries. We are almost completely through one full weekend of this Major League Baseball season. The St. Louis Cardinals are currently playing the Los Angeles Dodgers. They're in the top of the 8th inning on Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. So if you are entertained by Carl Ravage's voice, go ahead and tune in for the last two-thirds of an inning. Otherwise, just ignore it.
Yeah.
So we're going to open up this show by talking about our two teams, the Philadelphia Phillies and the St. Louis Cardinals, who opened series with the Atlanta Braves and the Los Angeles Dodgers. So, literally, it couldn't have been worse. Then we're going to go through, the NL and talk about injuries, the AL, what's going on all around the league. And we're just going to discuss everything that happened in the league this weekend.
Hang on. It couldn't have been worse for you, because the Cardinals are about to walk out, hopefully, I'm going to knock on wood, with a split right now.
Yeah, okay, did you open up with a 4-game set? Or
Yeah, 4-game set.
Okay, yeah, no, we only had 3. So,
yeah.
I mean, it couldn't have ended up worse for me, but personally, we were the only team to not get swept by the Braves last year, and so far we're continuing that tradition, and I'm okay with that for right now.
Hey, I mean, and I think the Cardinals leaving LA with a split, that's a win. That's 100% a win.
Honestly, you should, if you leave there with the split, you guys should be credited a sweep.
Yeah, honestly, we should, because not only that,
the pitching matchups.
Thank you. We didn't even have Sonny Gray. Our first game was Miles Michaelis versus Tyler Glasnow. Game 2, Lance Lynn versus... No, it wasn't Lance Lynn. It was... Oh my God, I'm going to blank on this. Lance Lynn pitched game 3, did he not?
He did. He pitched yesterday.
Who the heck pitched game 2? Oh my God. I can see him. I can't picture him. He pitched at Duke, I believe. It was Zach Thompson.
That is a crazy game 2 starter.
Yeah.
That is an absolutely nuts game 2 starter.
Versus Yoshitshiba Yamamoto, who, by the way, is back. People were worried about him. I was worried about him, especially with my AL or my NL Rookie of the Year and Cy Young pick. But he shoved game 2.
No,
absolutely
he was great. He was great game 2.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of back and forth in the NL. So the Braves absolutely bludgeoned the Phillies in game 2. Game 1, I'm kind of chalking up to the bullpen just kind of falling apart because it was such an anomaly. The way they just collapsed was not normal, and I think Rob overthought a couple moves in that game that ended up being it looked 9-3, and I saw a report from Bally Sports South saying, "Oh, look at how good the Braves offense has been against the Phillies' 2 aces," and it's Zach Wheeler went 6 shutout against you. You didn't dominate 2 aces. Nola pitched poorly, yes. I will admit that Nola pitched poorly. However, it wasn't a ton of hard contact. If you look at the Fangraphs everywhere, it wasn't a ton of hard contact. He only got hit hard 3 times the entire game. A lot of it was BABIP. I'm looking at the BABIP numbers right now on Fangraphs. Michael Harris currently has a .833 BABIP. So look, brother, that's not going to continue for the entire season. You're probably going to end up with a .3 something BABIP, maybe, if you're lucky. Isolated power of .444. Yeah, that's not going to continue. It's just not. These numbers, it's so early on returns that you can't really take it and been yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen every time Aaron Nola starts a game. It's not going to happen. There's no way.
Well, and like you said we were talking before, Aaron Nola has a thing of being either the best pitcher in the league on a given day or being the worst pitcher in the league on a given day. He's either going to give you 7 shut of 8 punchies, no walks, or he's going to give up 5 earned runs in 2 innings.
Yeah,
there's no in between.
That's exactly who he is. And I've watched him since he's been in a Phillies uniform. And there are times, 2018, he was the best pitcher in damn baseball. That's a Teoscar Hernandez home run, by the way.
Wait, isn't he on your fantasy team?
He is.
Fucking A, double hate.
So yeah, that happened. But yeah, Nola, super like hit or miss. He's either going to be really good or he's going to give you what he gave yesterday, and you're just going to have to deal with it.
And to be fair to Aaron Nola, also, you're dealing with the Braves. Their lineup is loaded. It's like right now with the Cardinals dealing with the Dodgers lineup. You're dealing with the best lineups in baseball, and you're expected to probably give up the most runs you're going to give up against those offenses because they're as strong as they are. And then you're going to have game 3 face the Oakland A's, and they have one guy in their lineup that you can't pitch to. And I shouldn't even say you can't pitch to. He's good, but he's not amazing.
Brent Rooker isn't exactly
He's not Shohei Ohtani or Freddie Freeman or Ronald Acuna or Matt Olson. Like, it's not those guys. He's a good player. He's going to get traded eventually.
But he's not going
A's, I've had to break it to you.
Oh, damn. I'm sure they're heartbroken.
Yeah. So that's just kind of like, it's to be expected. And if you really thought that every pitcher that you guys threw out there was going to go out there and just shove for 3 games straight, you were crazy. There was no way that offense doesn't.
Because, like, we're talking about first week of the season. Like, everyone's still building up. It's not like everything's going to be perfect. So, did I expect to win 3 out of 3 against the Atlanta Braves this opening series? No, absolutely not. Was I hopeful to win the first game after we took a 2-0 lead? Absolutely. I did not expect the bullpen to melt down, but they melted down. It happens. That happens to everyone's bullpen at least multiple times during the season.
Well, and the one thing that we, even in the season's previews episode, we talked about with the Phillies is their bullpen is a little suspect at times. Their bullpen can be
like, because MLB's network ranked them the number 1 bullpen, and I was like, I don't think that's accurate.
No.
But like, do I like my bullpen? Yeah, I think it's a good bullpen. Do I think it's number 1 in baseball? No.
Well, that same network on that same list had the Cardinals ranked 7th in bullpen, and that's just not true. That's just simply not true. Like, they added some pieces to their bullpen. They're not a good bullpen. So I just think that list in general, throw it out the window. That list. F that list.
They didn't even rank the Yankees bullpen, which has gone like 10 shutout innings to start the season.
Yeah, and then they also didn't rank the Yankees bullpen. I believe they had the Astros bullpen at like 10th or something like that. And I'm like, okay, a bullpen with Brian Abreu. I want to
say they had the Astros at like 4th. I think.
Okay, maybe it was, but still,
it was. I think it was a little higher on the list than 10th.
I thought it was like 10th, but regardless, honestly, in my opinion,
it should have been higher than it was. Like, I think personally, I think I still would have had the Astros as the number 1 bullpen. Just because of the 1-2 punch at the top. I also would have had the Mariners bullpen a little bit higher because the Mariners bullpen has been very good to start the season.
Yeah.
And look, we're already getting on a different tangent.
Yeah. Well, that's what we usually do.
Yeah. But like, NL-wise, did I expect to win 2 out of 3? No, I would have been thrilled with the 2 out of 3 against the Atlanta Braves, as long as we played them close. The second game was the one that pissed me off because it was like, you cannot just get embarrassed, and you played an embarrassing game. Like, that was what blew my mind. I was pissed off at that game. The first game, I was just kind of like, all right, whatever, meltdowns happen. You can't win them all. The second game, I was like, that was embarrassing. Nola got unlucky, I'll say, rather than was terrible. I think he was unlucky more so than he was awful. I didn't think he pitched well, but I also think he was very unlucky with some of the pitches that they were hitting. Like the Ozzy Albies home run, I mean, I think you've seen it. The low changeup, like literally 2 inches out below the zone.
It was
not even close. He did the same. Yeah, he did the same thing to Ranger Suarez today.
Yeah. Yep.
With like a changeup. It was a curveball. He was way out in front of.
Yep.
Like, so he one-armed it, and you're like, there's no way that goes out.
No. That would have made sense if it was like Aaron Judge swinging the bat. It's like, okay, yeah, it's Aaron Judge. He's giant. He's 6'.
If it was
6'8",
Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, fine.
Yeah,
whatever.
But instead, you got Ozzy Albies, who's 5'6", like 135 pounds. He's a little bigger than that. Let's say 160. Like, and he just freaking one arms a home run. What?
Makes no sense. And that's the thing. Like, neither of his home runs have made sense. It's like he's been either out in front of a changeup or out in front of a curveball, and somehow one-armed the ball out of the damn ballpark. And you're just like, I don't get it. I don't understand, because like leadoff walk to Acuna, I do understand.
yeah. It's that makes sense.
And I'm just like, okay, as much as I hate walks, if you're gonna walk one guy, you probably walk the guy that can hit a ball 500 feet.
But the issue with walking him though is that he steals so many freaking bases.
He's gonna steal second. Like, he's going to steal second. You already know that. But I mean, otherwise, I think today Ranger got the 2 runs in the first, and then does what he normally does: shut down the Braves lineup for the like. He's the only left-hander I've ever seen that is actually capable of shutting down the Braves lineup.
For what I don't understand, like I do not understand, because Ranger Suarez, not to talk shit on your Phillies, but Ranger Suarez is an average pitcher. He's just an average pitcher. He's not bad, but he shouldn't be. Sorry, there was a stolen base, and I pulled off for a second.
No, I was just watching that too.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean,
who it was.
I know. My dead hated Chris Taylor.
Yep.
Anyways, but yeah, he's an average pitcher, and he's a serviceable 3 guy, but he shouldn't be dominating the Braves like he always does. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Ooh, you're gonna hate this next pitch.
Oh, I guess I sit in suspense. You go ahead and talk while I sit in suspense.
So like, while I think, yeah.
Oh, this is on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
Well, the Cardinals do not have a split anymore.
No, they do not.
Most likely take 3-1. Honestly, though, 3-1 against the Dodgers, I'll take. I'm not happy with it, but I'll take it.
No, especially because you're wasting a Matt's gem right now.
Yeah.
But okay. Moving on from that, we're going to get to your team in a second too.
I know.
I think Rangers' transition from the bullpen to being a starter has actually like gone well for like someone who's typically been a bullpen pitcher. So he's getting to a point where it's like he's more comfortable going deeper into games, and I think he's actually probably due for, like Jared was talking about Carter Crawford's breakout year. I think Rangers probably due for that this year.
I honestly agree.
I think he'll be like they were talking about it on like NBC Sports Philadelphia earlier. They were talking about Ranger having like a sub-3 ERA. I don't think he'll have a sub-3. I don't think he'll have a sub-3. I didn't agree with that. I think he'll have a sub-4, and I think he'll be closer to 3.2, 3.5. I think he'll be closer to 3.2, 3.5 than he will be to 4.
I was thinking like 3.5 to 3.8, which is still good. 3.5,
no, that's
3.8,
still good.
You'll take
that. That is good for a 3.
Yeah, very good.
That is good for a 3.
Yeah.
And it's like, do I think he's going to be dominant? No, but if the team that he can somehow shut out is the Atlanta Braves,
yeah, because I mean, it's
lovely.
It's almost written in stone. I shouldn't say it's written in stone, but it's almost bound to happen. Like, it feels like in the baseball gods world, it's gonna happen again this year. It's gonna be Phillies Braves at some point in the playoffs. It has to. Like, it just has to.
Yeah, it's something that the baseball gods have decided is something that needs to happen every year.
Yeah, and I'm here for it.
Okay, I mean, it's revived one of the best rivalries in baseball.
Yeah, it has 100%.
And you're just like, okay, I can get fired up, like, because you have 2 fan bases that like genuinely hate each other.
Well, and I like the that the fan bases hate each other, but also it's a weirdly respectful like hatred of each other. Like, each fan base, you don't see like crazy breakout fights that happen in the stands.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, Phillies fans are ruthless, but like, it's all talk. It's not like violent. Like, I was hating when it was the Dodgers and the Padres rivalry, and it seemed like every game that they played each other, there was a fight in the stands, and it was like,
that
come
happened.
on, guys.
That has happened a lot. Yeah, it has happened a lot.
And I hate rivalries like that. I mean, I like rivalries. Rivalries are great, but at the end of the game, we're watching watching a bunch of adults play a kid's game. There should not be violence over this. Like, it should be.
No, I agree. And that's the thing. Like, I have a lot of friends that are Braves fans, and we were talking tons of shit back and forth this entire weekend. And we win the one game today, and I was like, I hate you. I hope you have a terrible season. However, good series. and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. We moved on, and now we're making fun of Mets fans because the
Exactly.
Mets suck.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is supposed to go. Because I hate the Mets too.
Yeah, I mean,
the Marlins and
I
the
think the Mets hate the
Nationals.
Mets.
The Mets should hate the Mets. The Mets really should hate the Mets.
I think they
But
do,
it's
honestly.
I don't I'm not super bothered by Nationals or Marlins fans. I grew up around a rare amount of Nationals fans. It was more Orioles fans where I was from. But
Interesting.
well, I mean, the Orioles were more
yeah.
fun at some point, and the
true.
Nats were kind of they're new. But it was just kind of these people don't really bother me because they're if they're not a transplant, whatever. DC's a really big transplant town. But otherwise, it's kind of the fact that rivalries are being renewed by these playoff bouts is great. I think it's beautiful for baseball.
I completely agree.
And yeah, like I was saying, the BABIP stuff for the Braves, that's not going to continue. There's no chance. It is early in the season, and that's early in the season thing. So, am I happy losing in an embarrassing fashion to the Braves? Absolutely not. I wanted to taste metal. I was tasting metal for the first 2 games. And I was that photo I sent you was exactly what I was doing this game. I was sitting there watching that game, and I was like, "Oh my god, I swear!"
So, for context, so everybody knows what we're talking about. He right after the Albies home run off of his front foot, and I text him. I go, "You doing okay?" And he sends me a picture of a blurry photo with a bottle of Jack, a hammer on the side, and a revolver sitting on the counter. And he goes, "This is me currently."
Because I was like, I can't be going through this again. I can't be getting swept opening series. And I mean, it ended up turning out okay. Rangers settled in and pitched very well. I think he's going to end up going 6 innings as a regular this season. The surprise in our pitching pool, I think, will be Christopher Sanchez. I don't think Taijuan Walker is going to be good at all. I genuinely think Taijuan Walker is going to get replaced by Mick Abel.
Yeah,
in May. I think it's going to be a short leash with Taijuan Walker.
I definitely agree, and I think he needs to be a short leash because when he originally went to the Phillies, I was like, oh man, y'all picked up Taijuan Walker. That was actually because when he went there, he was coming off a really good year.
Yeah,
he was coming off a really really good year, and then last year he had a 4.38 ERA. I mean, he ate up some innings. He gave you 100.
No, he pitched well enough in some of the innings. He was leading the team in wins at one point. But his regression was terrible.
Yeah,
and I don't think that he sustains anything.
I mean, and he had a 1.3 whip last year. That's not sustainable. That's just not.
No, and his velocity was fluctuating all the time, and I think his leash is really short, especially with the progress Abel showed in spring training.
Yeah.
I think Abel's in the rotation pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, and from what I saw in his spring training stuff, he was looking really nasty.
And Abel was. I mean, he struck out.
You said he struck out Juan Soto. Yeah,
he struck out Juan Soto with a high fastball, and it wasn't even his best fastball because his fastball tends to go 96, 98, and he struck him out with a 95 mile an hour fastball on top of the zone,
which just shows me he's got crazy run on his or not run but ride on his fastball through the zone
because he has a 4-seamer and a 2-seamer. Mm-hmm. And so I expect him to because they tried to work in a cutter with him, but he preferred the curve slider change 4-seamer 2-seamer, which I actually like for him.
Yeah, same here. I was just about to say that because I think he's got more of if he's got a hard riding fastball, a curveball goes really well with that. I think if you're more 2-seam, if you're a big 2-seam heavy guy, cutter goes nicely. But if you got good ride through the zone, stick with that. Get the bender, and if you can throw a changeup with it, even better.
Yeah, he's been working on a changeup, but the thing that I love about Abel is his curveball is 79 to 82, and his fastball is 96 to 98. That velocity difference is going to be crazy to set up with.
Yeah.
and I think that'll play very well at the big league level. And so I do think that he'll end up getting up here and really helping out this rotation in the near future.
I could see that happening for sure. All right.
But otherwise, moving on to your team, you guys have been in kind of a dogfight series with the Dodgers. Like it's been a lot closer than I expected. I think even you expected.
I agree. I agree with the fact that after game 2, or basically game 1 and game 2, I don't think that was just they sucked. Like it was just not fun.
It wasn't fun to watch. Yeah, I mean, neither of our first 2 games were fun to watch.
No, Michaelis got absolutely shelled, which was to be expected. Zach Thompson, same thing basically. He ended up giving up
game 2 start, by the way.
Yeah, 5 earned runs, in 5 1/3 pitched, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. I mean, that's what I was expecting, honestly. So those first 2 games were awful. Then game 3 was the dogfight, like you said. What I thought was the interesting part about it was they could not hit Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn shockingly gave us 4 innings pitched with 5 strikeouts and only gave up 4 hits. I mean, Lance Lynn, and I thought it was hilarious. He gets in the bases loaded jam, and his quote, I'm going to read it from the message I sent you because it was hysterical.
This
quote
great.
needs to be burned in time. The bases were already loaded, so F it, let it rip. Like that's
awesome. Like that's awesome. I love that.
Lance Lynn needs to be protected at all costs. Like he is hysterical.
He is such a funny dude. Like, and that is a great quote. Like, if I could get that like burned into something and put on my wall, I would.
Let it rip. Like that's
let it rip.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Did you see this was back in I think like 2018 when he was with the Cardinals. He took a comebacker off the hat, and they were like, he's like, the reporter's like, oh, like, are you okay after the hit to the face? And he's like, it hit me in the protection. I'm good. And he's like, what do you mean the protection? He's like, the hat. He's like, it's my protection. He's like, that's not like a designated protection equipment. He's like, yeah, it is. It's a hat. See, like, he's like, clearly it is. It hit me in the bill of the hat. I'm like, that's just awesome. Like,
he's just a great character.
He is.
Like, he might not be an ace like he used to be.
No,
but he's still fun. Like. And look, I know you have sworn Mozeliak to like the deepest pits of hell.
yeah,
and understandably so. But you're just kind of like,
well, he had Brandon Crawford. He had Brandon Crawford and Matt Carpenter in the same lineup yesterday.
Yeah,
why are they both in the lineup?
Hey, you won that game. We won that game.
We did. But let's see if it was any thanks to Matt Carpenter or Brandon Crawford. Let's see. I don't think so. Matt Carpenter went 1 for 4. Brandon Crawford also went 1 for 4, which is actually better than I was expecting. From both of them.
An 0 for 4 would have been more predictable there.
Yeah, I would have definitely guessed a golden sombrero for both of them. Like, that's what I would have guessed. Especially because they had Yamamoto on the mound yesterday, and Yamamoto shoved. 5 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, no walks, 2 hits, and the batters, the strikeouts he was getting, batters just looked uncomfortable. That split was nasty, and it's official now that the Cardinals.
Maybe the Cardinals did lose.
Lost.
Yes,
now I can close that out and cry.
So yeah, I'm gonna close that out, and we're gonna ignore the fact that the Dodgers did that.
Yep.
So I will say this, from that opening series, my impression on the Dodgers is Bobby Miller has to be your number 2.
He was lights out against the Cardinals.
He was so good.
Oh my God. I had my but questions about Bobby Miller just because it was
especially after that playoff start. Yeah, you're just kind of like, is he really the guy? And it's just kind of like, oh, like, I mean, because you love the fastball.
That fastball's disgusting.
But you just didn't know if he could land anything else, and it seems like he's gotten that now, and you're just kind of like, damn,
because
that's a real, like, that guy could be a number 1.
I had my friend who's a Dodgers fan, typical delusional Dodgers fan, who after last year was telling me, he was telling me that like Bobby Miller is going to be the right-handed Clayton Kershaw, and I was like, dude, relax on that. I was like, Clayton Kershaw is one of the greatest left-handed pitchers of all time, arguably the greatest. And
Absolutely. However, he never had Bobby Miller's velocity.
true, that is true. But Bobby Miller never had Clayton Kershaw's curveball.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and Clayton
Does
Kershaw.
Bobby Miller even throw a curveball?
I don't even know, honestly.
I think he's like four seamer. I think he's four seamer, two seamer
change. I want to say.
I think he's four seam, two seam, 94-mile-an-hour slider, and I think it's a changeup. And then the last pitch is a mystery to me. I think it might be a curveball, but I think his curveball is way harder. Like I'm talking like low 80s at minimum. Versus
I'm looking
Clayton's,
out of curiosity. I'm looking up his baseball savant now just to because I want to see what
his pitch mix is. Yeah,
yeah.
Because he was gross, and I don't know what he used this first game.
You look at Bobby Miller's baseball savant; it is littered with blood red.
Like, that doesn't shock me. The dude is nuts.
It doesn't. I mean, it is this. So he's got fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. So he does throw a curveball, and I believe he throws it second. Yeah, second most.
Really? He throws a curveball? Yep. So I did.
Yep.
Okay, that's actually a little shocking to me. I thought he would have thrown his slider second most because his slider is wicked.
It's close. It's 48% fastball, 18% curveball, 17% slider, 16% changeup, which actually that scares me even more that he throws all three of his secondary pitches about the same amount.
That probably means they're all plus.
Yeah. Well, and from what I'm looking at, it looks like they're all plus. Like they are.
That's wicked.
Yeah, they're all. Oh, I guess he does have a sinker too, but he's thrown it 8 times.
Yeah, because I knew he had a two-seamer, and you know the show plays that up a lot.
Yeah. I mean, they still have Spencer Strider having a two-seamer. That doesn't exist.
I've literally edited that off him in every single franchise mode I have because I'm like, he just doesn't have that.
It's agreed. He does not throw a two-seam.
He doesn't throw a two-seamer. I'm like, it doesn't exist. Like, what are you talking about? And like for me, I was like, okay.
So
go on.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I did hit a home run, no doubt home run with Bryson Stott against Bobby Miller today. I turned 102-mile-an-hour fastball down the dick, turned it around at 103.
I made a kid quit in the first inning today on the show. So if anybody wants to play me in the show, I will dominate you. Trust me on this. I am
We should get some co-op games going.
We should, because I've been messing people up lately. Like the game after I made the kid quit in the first inning, I beat a guy by 10 runs. Like it, I have been. So I had my first game. I got killed on player or online because I'd been playing nothing but Conquest, and I always forget that you cannot throw in the strike zone at all in multiplayer. Like barely ever do I go in the strike zone.
You have to get outside. Yeah,
exactly. So I'm like, don't even. So then my first game, I was like, oh, perfect dotted curveball on the black, and it's like that just got hit 453 feet. I'm like. Why is that? And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Don't throw in the strike zone.
Don't throw in the strike zone.
Because people are idiots and they'll swing at anything.
Yeah.
So, and then now to circle back the Cardinals series, I just had a few notes about it. Just to, Steven Matz, he's pitching well. And cool thing about
that is good.
That is good. And it shows that, like, if you look at Steven Matz, his whole season looks bad. But if you break it down to first and second half, he was disgusting in the second half. Second half, he had a 2.16 ERA and 33 and a third innings pitched. So, and then if you go by month, he went from April and March, he had a 6.23. May, he had a 5. June, he dropped down to a 1.64. July, a 2.17, and then August, a 2.25. So, if he can do what he did the second half last year, he's our ace until Sonny Gray gets back, obviously. But if he gives us a sub 3 ERA, I don't mind that from a 2 guy at all.
I would never mind that from a 2
no,
guy.
From a 2 guy,
that's beautiful. Like that is exactly what you want from a 2.
Exactly. And if we get Sonny Gray back with a 2, he gives us that. Honestly, in my opinion, maybe Lance Lynn's going to be the 3, because if Lance Lynn can shove like that, I'll take it. Like I will take that.
You will take that. Like because again, like we said earlier with the Phillies, you're expecting the starters to build up to what they normally are because Wheeler's velocity wasn't at 98, what she's normally at.
Yep.
And he looked great, but even
Strider was only at 99.
Strider was only at 99. Yeah. And Strider exited that game in line for the loss. Thank you very much.
He did.
So that's the first time he's actually done that in Philadelphia.
Really?
That's the first in like all of his regular season innings against the Phillies. The thing is, I actually do like respect Spencer Strider because he's the one of the only Braves that is he's nasty. One, but he's one of the only Braves that will come out and say, no, I love playing here, and especially in the postseason, he was like, we're making excuses because of the format, and it's pathetic.
Yeah,
and he's given that quote directly, and he was like, I love playing here. They are all fired up, they're all bought in, everyone loves the team. It makes it fun. So I do like Spencer Strider, but
the clip that I sent you today of the guy in the stands when Spencer Strider was in the bullpen. You thought we were bad in October? Welcome to March. That was so epic. I was like, oh my god! Yeah, and then every time, and then the entire game, every time that he's on the mound, Strider. It was amazing. Great.
Yes. It's a great atmosphere, and it's so good to have that rivalry blossoming again.
Yep.
And it's with that, you have all of these rivalries that are renewed. Apparently, Milwaukee and the Mets hate each other now. So we'll jump into that.
We'll get to that. Yeah. I just wanted to finish off real quick. Just the Cardinals split, or not split, but now 3-1 loss.
It should have been a split.
Yeah, should have been a split, but unfortunately, Max Muncy. Thankfully, he's on my fantasy team. Minus the thing about the Cardinals with it, which is still shocking to me, is that the offense minus Goldschmidt was completely missing. It was basically non-existent. Mason Wynn did okay, but he's a rookie. What do you expect? But Goldie started off well.
Yeah.
But minus that, it was nobody. I mean, even
Arenado had some really bad at bats.
He had some very bad at bats. I mean, it's not that. That's
he looks worse than Rojas in some of those at bats.
Even Nolan Gorman did not show up. I mean, I don't understand. The lineup is, if you look at their lineup and you just look at the names, that is a lineup that should smack.
No, it's a good lineup, and that's the thing that shocked me is because they were so free swinging. It's
they are.
There was no patience. Even with Vesia, who is wild as any reliever comes.
Yep.
The dude can never find the zone. You could have walked in at least 6 runs.
That's the thing about the Cardinals in general. They have a lot of free swingers in that lineup, and they need to rein that in. I mean, if you look at the lineup on paper, it's one of the strongest lineups in baseball. On paper, if you just look at the names.
On paper, yes.
But
you're missing Nootbaar. You're missing Nootbaar.
Exactly, and Tommy Edman. And that's it's crazy to me because last year Nolan Gorman led the entire team with home runs, with 27 home runs, and that's a lineup with Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado, both of which had less home runs than that. Which in their careers, I looked it up. Nolan Arenado hasn't had less than 30 home runs since 2014, and other than the 2020 season. And then Paul Goldschmidt, pretty much same thing, almost the same exact thing. So I don't know where the power outage has gone, but it needs to come back because if this is the lineup that they're going to do with the starting rotation that we have right now,
you expect a lot better.
And if that's the power that we're going to have for the season with the rotation we have, the Cardinals are going to be struggling all year long. It's just not I'm happy that they took one against the Dodgers, but overall they need the lineup needs to show up.
Yeah.
And then lastly with the Cardinals series, the last game that went into extras, Shohei Ohtani came up to the plate and I believe popped out in the last at bat, which sparked a long thread of tweets on Twitter of a bunch of Angels fans saying he's not that guy. He's just not the guy in the playoffs. He's not the guy that you want in high leverage situations. So to shut that down really quickly, I pulled it up
before you go into it was a good pitch.
Yeah.
It was a really good pitch.
So
now
rip them. To shut that down because y'all are idiots for saying that. 2 outs with runners in scoring position, 923 OPS. Tie game, 900 OPS with one runner on, 880 OPS. 2 runners on, 895 OPS. 3 runners on, 899. I'm sorry, actually this is within one run. Within one run, 880 OPS. Within 2 runs, 895 OPS. Within 3 runs, 899 OPS. Within 4 runs, 900 with a margin of 4 runs or greater, 1 dot OPS. So at the worst, within a 1-run game, he's got an 880 OPS. What? Okay, ahead in games, 973 OPS. Behind in games, 888 OPS. Okay? High leverage situations, 1.008 OPS. So y'all shut up. Like, shut up.
It's just not a valid argument. Like,
no.
It's just not. And I understand being bitter because he left your team, but like saying he's a bad player, it's just not true. It's not.
He's the most talented player in Major League Baseball, and you cannot argue with me on that because what other guy is going to hit with a 1 OPS and then go give you 6 innings shut on the mound? There's nobody, not a single player in the league. It's just not happening. You can argue that there's better hitters.
Lose the game if he was on the Angels.
True. And you can argue that he's not the best hitter in the league. You can argue that he's not the best pitcher in the league. Those are both valid arguments. But
those are not the most. Those are valid. Those are valid. But everything else.
To say he's not the most talented player in the game, you're just wrong. You're not like. I feel like when you know that episode or that quote in Billy Madison. When Billy Madison gives that like long rambling or like answer to the question, and then he goes, "Not anywhere did you have a valid point. You are so. Everyone in the room is now dumber for what you have said." Like that's how I feel whenever I hear that.
Points, and it's God. May God have mercy on your soul.
Exactly. That's how I feel when I see those tweets. I'm like, you're so dumb.
It's dumb. It's dumb. It's a dumb argument.
All right. So let's go into your AL team now.
Okay. So. The Mariners' offense doesn't exist.
True.
Luis Castillo had a rough game. Like, was not sharp. Tyler O'Neill and Rafael Devers are locked for home runs on opening day. Like, if you didn't bet them, I'm sorry. You should have. Because they are locked for home runs on opening day. It's been a recurring theme at this point.
5 in a row.
However, so that's your AL Cy Young pick, by the way. My AL Cy Young pick went 7 shutout. No, 6 and 2/3 shutout. And his offense did actually get him the win in that game.
With 3 runs?
I'm genuinely serious. It was 1 run. It was a JP Crawford home run. It was 1-0. He went 6 and 2/3.
Yep. That's exactly what it is.
And it was a JP Crawford home run. I remember watching that game. Because it reminded me eerily of the time that George Kirby last year went 9 shutout and caught the last out himself, slammed the glove into the top of the dugout, and was like, score some fucking runs.
Now, hang on.
Went down the tunnel.
To argue with you a bit, just because.
I knew you were going to do this.
Shots fired at me. Shots fired at me. Hang on. You just went on a freaking 80-minute rant on how it's early in the season with the Braves. It's early in the season with the Braves. And then Luis Castillo has 1 freaking start, and it wasn't great, but it wasn't.
No, he wasn't great, but he was wild. That was the thing that worried me.
True.
Was he was not in the zone at all. And that's the thing. Kirby's always an in the zone guy. So like the second he walked his first batter, I was like, this isn't you. What is wrong?
Yeah.
But I was also like, I was thinking that with Castillo too, because like the Mariners are not a team that walk people.
No. I mean, in general, they don't have a lot of guys that walk. Their team whip is probably ridiculous.
Yeah, their team whip is probably sub-1.
I'm going to look it up right now for last year.
Like, it's crazy. Like they do not walk people. So like the fact that the Castillo was all over the place confused the hell out of me.
Yeah, I mean.
It was a bad start. It was a bad start, and that happens.
I'm going to chalk it up to it was just a bad start. That's going to happen.
It was a bad start. That's all it was.
I personally, that's exactly. I think it's a bad start.
It's a bad start.
I
needed to take the shot. It's your AL Cy Young pick. Currently, my guy's ahead.
True.
Me and Jay Hay. Me and Jay Hay.
Hey, me, Jared, and Dallas are living and dying with Luis Castillo.
I know you guys are, so that's why I'm with Jay Hay right now.
I'm gonna live and die by my Yamamoto pick too, even if he got shelled his first outing.
Yeah.
So, what did you say the team whip was? You thought last year?
I was gonna say sub 1. I was gonna say sub 1.
Not quite that good. Still good though. 1.19.
1. My next guess was gonna be like 1.09. So that's fair.
As a team?
That's
as
crazy.
A team. There's strikeouts per 9 as a team. Take a guess.
I'm gonna go 13.4.
How much crack have you smoked today? Jesus, you were
because there were games where you would turn it on and they would just be like striking out everyone in the world.
I understand that, but 13 as a team.
Wait, 13 as a team.
You're including all relievers, everybody.
Relievers?
Everybody. Yes.
Okay, hold on. 9.29.
Close. 9.06.
Okay, I was close. Yeah. Look, I forgot relievers factored into that.
I mean, I can probably put it into just starting pitchers. Nope, that's
because for that, okay. Because I think Wu has a higher ground ball rate than any of them. So it would make sense. Right. It would make sense that it's lower.
Yep.
But it's just because Kirby and Castillo and Gilbert are all wicked strikeout guys. Oh yeah. And so is Bryce Miller.
Yes.
And Bryce Miller kind of got hit around today. So. Well, no, he didn't really get hit around because I watched the game and he missed location on 2 pitches and they both got taken yard.
That'll happen. That will happen.
It'll happen. It was against Rafael Devers and Tyler O'Neill. No, it was Tyler O'Neill and it was a shortstop, Emmanuel Valdez.
That one's shocking, but the Tyler O'Neill one is not. I mean,
it was a 3-2 pitch and he kind of had to hit the zone.
Yeah.
Because it would have loaded the bases if he didn't, so...
And Tyler O'Neill, I mean, that guy is crazy strong. And now that he's not on the Cardinals, I bet he hits 33 home runs this year and is back to being a top quality player because we traded him.
We both know he's going to get hurt by, midpoint of the season. He's going to get hurt.
Probably. I mean, that's his biggest issue. He's always struggled with getting hurt. I mean, in the one season that he didn't get hurt, he was 15th in Cy Young, MVP voting. That's... Yeah. When he's in the lineup, he hits. And healthy, I should say.
Overall, Gilbert and Kirby were both great in their starts. And Castillo was a little shaky, but again, we can chalk that up to first start, whatever. Everyone's still building up. Kirby's fastball wasn't at its normal fastball velocity. Neither was Castillo's. Neither was Gilbert's. Neither was Bryce Miller's. So you have those 4 pitchers whose fastball normally sits 97 and 99. That's first start stuff for all of them. It's first start stuff for every pitcher right now.
But what's not first games or first series stuff is where's Waldo? Where's the freaking Mariners offense? I mean, nothing.
I
Literally
would default to my friend, my boy Eamon. He texted me earlier because I sent him those photos I sent to you. Yeah. George Kirby. Hey guys, I'm pitching a shutout. Where's my offense? And everyone said, "Look, Mom, I'm on TV." That's exactly what the Mariners offense is.
Yeah. I mean,
it's bad.
Today.
It's really bad.
Today, they put up 1 run. Yesterday, they put up
5, but they put up 1 through 9.
4. They put up 4.
Oh, right, it was 4.
In 10, and also in 10 innings, and 3 of those runs came in the last inning.
Yep. Electric game. It was super fun to watch. But oh my god, that is so bad because Gilbert went 7 with 1 earned run.
Friday.
That's really bad.
Friday, 1 earned run. And then Thursday, 4 earned runs. So what the hell, man? That
offense is bad. That offense is really bad. It is terrible.
And we spent a lot of time talking about them retooling that offense and how it was gonna be a much stronger offense than it was last season. But J-Rod completely no-showed. J-Rod was gone. He had a 485 OPS for this series, which I'm not worried about J-Rod.
J-Rod will bounce back. He'll be fine.
J-Rod will be back. But Mitch Haniger, he actually did well. Mitch Haniger was
Mitch
90%
Haniger was
of
good.
your offense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mitch
which
Haniger
we
was
wanted
good.
him to be. Yeah, we wanted him. He was a big part of that retooling. But Mitch Garver got hurt day to day as we speak.
I think they expect him back next week.
JP Crawford, non-existent. He had an 818 OPS last year, and again, non-existent. And unfortunately for my fantasy team, because you're my shortstop on my fantasy team, so pick it up, dude.
I think he will pick it up. Like
I
the
think he
guy,
will also.
he was taking good at bats, and he was taking smart at bats too.
Yeah,
like in the first inning of the Gilbert start. So yesterday, the infield was playing back, and he had taken a couple pitches, and he looked at the infield and bunted because they were all playing so far back, and he just bunted, got on base, stole, and they scored a run. And I was like, that's smart baseball.
Yeah,
that's really good offense. But you actually have to do that every game. Like, it can't be a one-time thing.
Yes. Well, and the JP Crawford last year with an 818 OPS, he led the league in walks last year, actually, too.
He hit a grand slam against the Phillies.
Yeah.
I was like...
But it was kind of a fluke. I shouldn't say kind of. It was definitely a fluke season for him, because minus that, his highest OPS was a 715 OPS in 2021.
He's always been better with defense than he has ever been with offense.
Agreed. But that Mariners lineup needs that offense.
They need it badly. It's a bad offense. It's a bad offense.
Yeah. I mean, we just said minus the 10th inning that in the one game, they put up, 3 in one game and then 1 in the other 2.
Yeah, it's been bad. And the thing is, if they had a functional, competent offense, that's easily a World Series favorite.
Yeah, well,
that rotation is one of the best
100%.
No, you know what? No. That rotation is the best in baseball. If they have a competent offense, they're World Series favorite. But they don't, because their GM only wants to win 54% of games.
Yeah, they want to make the playoffs. They're doing what a good chunk of teams are doing at this point, where they're like, we want to make the playoffs, say it was a successful season, and move on from there. Which is honestly, I've said it 1,000 times.
Is Seattle
bad
even
for baseball?
Is Seattle even a small market? You can't make that argument. They're like at minimum a medium market, and I would call Seattle a large market.
I would.
That is a big city.
Yeah,
that stadium was packed,
and they've had runs of being very good teams. Haven't won a World Series. But they've had runs of being good. I mean, look at when they had Randy Johnson, Ken Griffey Jr. That team was electric.
You have a guy who hits 630 home runs, and somehow you don't have a World Series.
And am I wrong? Do they have the most wins in a season? I'm pretty sure they do.
They might.
I'm almost
what
positive
is the most? Is it 117?
I think it was 116. And actually, shout out to the owner of the Baltimore Orioles. I love you, dude.
Real one. Rubenstein, awesome. We're going to get into that too. That was awesome to hear.
We will love that. They interviewed him in game 1, and they asked him a question where he said something. They asked him.
We were talking about that at the time. Immediately. Yes.
The question was something, and it was the Seattle Mariners, by the way, in 2001.
116?
Yeah, 116 games. And the question was something what do you think the team's going to be? And he said, I don't think the team's going to win, something like that. He's like, I don't think they're going to break the record. And what's the and he's like, what's the record? 118. And then the guy goes, oh, it's 116. He's like, oh yeah, that's right. The 2001 Mariners. And
that guy knows his stuff.
That is what you want from an owner in baseball.
Yes.
You want an owner.
God, it was awesome. You loved hearing that so much.
Loves baseball. Yes.
I loved hearing that so much.
100% agree.
Yeah, especially for a team like the Orioles.
Yes.
So exciting.
Fun.
Okay, so let's run through the other NL results before we get into that, because
hang on. We got to go into my AL team. It's not good news.
I thought you might have wanted to pass over that one.
I do want to, but we would be doing the public an injustice if we don't.
Yeah, okay. So
the Astros got dicked. The Astros got swept by the Yankees, which me and you were both very skeptical on the Yankees starting rotation and what they would be. And not only that, but I text you game 1, hammer the Astros beating the Yankees on the. I said run line because I thought 2 runs was not going to be. I thought it was going to be a blowout. because Nestor
Because
Cortez was
Nestor was not on. He was
no,
not on.
he was terrible. He was bad. But
He
I think
settled in. He did settle in,
he did.
to be fair. But, like,
he did.
he didn't look on. And you were just
No.
like, that should have been enough for an Astros lineup that is so damn good.
Yeah.
To beat the living hell out of him.
Well, and the Astros lineup is so damn good, but there was some pitfalls in that lineup. Yordan Alvarez, non-existent. He was not in the lineup.
He's been bad.
He was not in the lineup at all. I'm pulling up his OPS for the series because it was brutal.
It has to be brutal.
It was he had a 329 OPS. Yeah. 329 OPS. I mean, and the rest of the lineup did show up. I mean, Altuve, 979 OPS. Bregman didn't show up. Bregman was also with Yordan.
Tucker, I don't think was.
Kyle Tucker, he
wasn't Kyle Tucker, but he was.
No, but he had a 290.
It was okay-ish.
294 batting average. That's he'll come up from there.
He did.
Yair Diaz.
I will say, on the game that Soto threw out Dubon at the plate, I thought Kyle Tucker had won the game right there.
Yeah,
I did think he had won the game right there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's like that. I'm not worried about the Astros lineup. I'm honestly not even worried about the Astros in general. What I'm shocked, my big note from this was what the Yankees decided to do. The Yankees said, our starting pitching is suspect. We understand that, but our bullpen is top quality. So they got it.
Their bullpen was great.
Ridiculous. Their bullpen was ridiculous, and if the Yankees can continue to, if they get Garrett Cole back, first of all, and they can continue to just get to the 5th and 6th inning with the game being close, that bullpen will shut teams down.
Apparently so. I didn't even think about that. Like, I didn't even consider it because it didn't seem like something that was in the realm of possibility.
Their bullpen is nasty. I mean,
Ian Hamilton
is one of the best. Yeah.
Ian Hamilton looked incredible. Like, not even just incredible, unhittable.
Yeah.
And, okay, the one concern that I do have, like, okay, we've talked ad nauseum about how concerned we are about the Yankees.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge looked bad.
That was another note that I had. Aaron Judge struggled. Aaron Judge really struggled.
He's had that problem with the Astros for his entire career.
He has.
But the fact that it is continuing, it's like...
Well, and then not only that, because now he's got protection. Well, he's always had kind of protection, but not...
not Juan Soto.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to say. He didn't have Juan Soto protection, where it was, oh yeah, so we got this guy in front of me who's going to get on base. I mean, and not only that, but he's continued exactly what he did in spring training.
Juan Soto.
Yeah,
it's Juan Soto.
Well, I had my concerns about Juan Soto just because of his pull. He can get pull happy when he.
But he's completely ignored that.
Yes, he has.
He's done completely ignored that. He's done exactly what you said in the AL. Exactly. In the AL predictions.
He's completely ignored it. He's went opposite field. In fact, the reason they won the game today is he was facing Josh Hader.
Field.
And he goes opposite field between between short and third. I mean, the guy, if he can continue that, he's gonna win MVP.
And
he's going to win MVP.
That was a beautiful at bat.
That was a perfect at bat. That is the Juan Soto playing at the top of his game. That is Juan Soto being who he was in the 2019 World Series when he took Garrett Cole deep opposite field. When he took Justin Verlander on a pitch up and in at his freaking head, and he hit
that second 700 feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, I already have my friends that are Yankee fans already been clamoring for a lifetime extension for Juan Soto. I'm like, yeah, exactly. If I was in the same position as you, I would be writing say here,
blank check,
blank check, whatever number you want, because that is exactly who you want in your lineup. Because he's already changed the entire mentality of the Yankees.
100%. He has, and then not only that, but with so I'm going to bring it into an Anthony Rendon context. Anthony Rendon, after he got that huge deal, people were very shocked.
We're going to talk about Anthony Rendon.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Anthony Rendon.
When I expressed this to my dad, actually, I was talking about it, and I was like, I don't like that deal. Not because of Anthony Rendon's talent. He's when he got signed that deal, I mean, he was one of the best third basemen in the game.
He was so good. Yeah.
But he'd already expressed things saying that, like, baseball is not even my favorite sport. It's just another day at the office, like things like that. You don't. If I'm an owner, I don't want that player.
I'm not writing a check to someone that doesn't love what they're doing.
Exactly.
There's no chance.
Juan Soto is not that guy. Juan Soto eats, sleeps, and breathes baseball. I think the only person who might do it more is maybe Shohei Ohtani. That's about it. Like, that's the only.
There are like 3 players that eat, sleep, and breathe baseball
and
more
he's
than
one of
him.
them.
It's Soto, Harper, Otani. That's it.
Yeah, that's those guys.
Those are the numbers.
Love baseball.
Yeah,
like
shout out Bryce right there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's if I'm an owner, that's the guy. I don't care if some guy is a little bit better. I want the guy who eats, sleeps, and breathes baseball. If it's let's say, for example, Anthony Rendon or Nolan Arenado. Let's say they were both free agents at the exact same time.
Nolan
Arenado.
immediately.
Yeah,
Nolan immediately.
Nolan
I don't care how badly he's been hitting this first 4 games.
Yeah.
I'm taking Nolan. Because you know what? Anthony Rendon has not been hitting better. And he also has not shown up to play defense at third base either.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But but the reason I say that is Nolan Arenado would take a bullet for the team if he could.
He would.
He that's the guy that I want on my team.
Dude, Bryce nearly killed himself game 2.
Yeah, he literally almost did.
Speaking of, Bryce, never do that again.
Yeah, I saw that. I was so concerned. I was like, oh my God, he's out for the season. I was like, he's done. And
then he
thank
climbed
God
back
he was
out
fine.
and played the rest of the game because he's a nut job.
If Bryce Harper could have came out limping, and I'd have been like, he's gonna be all right. As long as he got up, I was like, it's all right. He's fine. Bryce Harper reminds me of the old story of Lawrence Taylor. It wasn't Lawrence
chewing
Taylor.
on glass.
No. Oh my God, my dad would kill me right now. It's a 49ers player who cut his finger off to play in the Super Bowl. Oh my God, Ronnie Lott.
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
Ronnie Lott broke his finger, and they were like, "We got to take you out of the game to get this fixed." And he goes, "Cut the finger off." That's the guy I want. Cut the finger off, and I'll go in the game. Cool, even better. That's the guy I want on my team.
Yeah, you want someone that's going to die for your team.
Exactly.
Not you don't want him to actually die, but you want him to. If he's willing to give his blood, sweat, and tears for you, that's who you want.
Yep, 100%. Yeah. All right, now we can get into the NL because we've kind of delved deep into everything. My notes for the NL, I've just got San Francisco, San Diego split the series. I feel like we kind of all expected something similar to that because I feel like
we did. I think that series was a lot more balanced than people thought it would be because San Francisco's offseason was a lot better than I think a lot of people expected, and so that's not totally surprising. No, I kind of expected that. Dylan Cease, I believe, was very good in that. I watched a few of those innings. I watched a few. I didn't watch all of them, but I think
if I remember right, he had a very Dylan Cease start. If I remember right,
he did have a very Dylan Cease start.
He struck out a lot and walked a lot of guys. I'm trying to look it up right now.
But I know he
got the loss.
Game. So he got the loss, but I don't think he got all of the earned runs because because I believe they lost that game way worse than he left the game with.
They lost it 9-6, and yes, there was a reliever. Cosgrove came in and gave up 6. So there we go.
So that's why I thought the score was a little lopsided and it would make people think that Cease was worse. But no, I think Cease had a C start.
Yeah,
he had a C start. And normally a C start is probably striking out 9 and walking 2 or 3.
Yeah,
but that's a fine enough start. And I mean, again, this is a retooling, rebuilding year for San Diego. Not entirely shocking.
Yeah, I mean, and do I the thing is with San Diego? Do I expect them to get second or third in the division? No, but could I see it? 100%. 100%.
I agree. I think the NL West's spots after the top one are all in a toss-up, except the fact that I think Arizona will probably take number 2.
Yeah.
I at this point, I think Arizona, especially after the Jordan Montgomery signing, I think they're going to take it.
That's what I was just about to say. I can't wait to see these series between San Francisco and San Diego. Once San Francisco gets Blake Snell
built up,
and Jordan Montgomery is in that rotation for San Diego, that's going to be a fun.
The AL West is going to be a fun division to watch.
It's going to be a very fun division,
especially if you're East Coast. You can stay up late. You can watch late baseball. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You should because that 2, 3, and 4 or that 2, 3, and 4 is going to be at battles all season long, and it just showed with San Francisco and San Diego by splitting the series. That just shows exactly what we're going to be looking at this entire year.
You're going to be looking at a bloodbath that entire year in that division.
Exactly, and that's all I kind of had with that. It's exactly what we thought.
Washington and Cincinnati.
People watched that.
No, but Cincinnati did what we expected them to do to the Nationals.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
yeah.
it's the Nationals. No one expects anything there. They're pseudo rebuilding. The
Pseudo.
ones they're barely even camouflaging the fact that they don't care anymore after winning
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
2019 World Series.
Pretty much, yeah.
Which, fair enough.
I mean, their best player is Lane Thomas. Like,
And Lane Thomas is probably getting traded midseason to a
probably.
lower end contender for nothing.
And Mackenzie Gore actually starts tomorrow.
Mackenzie Gore starts against who?
The Pirates.
Okay, getting into
Praise
the Pirates.
The Jolly Rancer. Yes, the Pirates.
Pirates beat the brakes off the Marlins.
We said it before. The Pirates are not going to be as bad as like people think.
People think they're going to be bad. They're not. They're just not. Okay, their first win, 6-5. Yeah, that's a little suspect. Everything else, that was convincing.
9-2, 9-7.
That was convincing.
Yeah,
that is very convincing. Like that is good baseball consistently being played.
Mm-hmm.
Like and Jackson Winsky,
hang on, something
good
cut
baseball player.
Oh, I'm here again.
Oh, you're all good.
Okay. Yeah, we're all good.
Yeah, Jack Sawinski, good baseball player. Brian Reynolds, good baseball player.
Stud.
Everything else?
Ke'Bryan Hayes. Dude, Ke'Bryan Hayes hit 444 for that series, had a 1.78 OPS.
If he can hit, that is a really good team.
Like, even Rowdy Tellez had an 825 OPS. The whole team. So, look at this. I'm looking at it right now for this series. They had 1, 2, 3, 4 guys put up 1 dots.
That's crazy.
They had 1, 2 guys put up over 9, almost 1 dots, both of them. Michael A. Taylor and I don't even know this guy.
I forgot they picked up Michael A. Taylor.
Edward Olivares put up 968, and then they had 1, 2, Rowdy Tellez being one of them. Rowdy Tellez put up over an 800 OPS, over an 850 and Connor Joe also put up over an 850 OPS for the series. Like
it's not a bad team. It's not a bad team.
Bednar's a good closer. Like they got guys.
A really good closer.
Yeah, they got like they're not terrible. Like they're not as bad as.
Do I see them making the playoffs? No, but do I see them like could they trade some of those pieces and get really good prospects back from them and be good in like the next 5 years? Yeah,
I agree. 100%. Like if they trade like a Bednar, because Bednar is not going to be there for another 10 years, like an O'Neal Cruz or a Ke'Bryan Hayes. Like they're not he's not the building block. So if they could trade him,
Bednar's not the building block. Like if you can get a closer, you don't even need to get a closer prospect. You can get like a ton of prospects back for David Bednar. You could be good in the next 5 years and really push for the playoffs and like even the World Series, because that could just be you. Like that could be all of your own doing. And I mean, look, I think the ownership in Pittsburgh actually does care about winning.
I hope so, because they haven't showed it in years past.
No, they have not. But Mitch Keller's not a bad starter.
No, he's not bad.
Most of their starters
Martin Perez is not terrible.
Most of their starters aren't. Yeah, most of their starters aren't bad, but it's like they're not really fully committed to winning, and I understand why, because maybe they think they're not totally ready for it yet, which is understandable.
Yeah,
but if they like make the right moves this trade deadline, they could be a serious threat in the NL Central in the next few years.
100%.
And I mean, dude, like this is a Marlins team that most people expected to finish third in the NL East, and now they're like looking at it again, like
got swept by the Pirates. Like that's.
Are you sure they're gonna finish third? Because like their pitching maybe isn't all healthy, but it's not bad.
But overall, they were a team that they made the playoffs last year. They were a playoff team.
Luzardo. It went Luzardo.
Oh, I don't know.
I know Luzardo. I think went day one.
I'm sure. Yeah, he definitely went day one.
He had to have gone day one. I can't remember who the second starter was. I didn't watch this game. Like
Luzardo went game one. Let's see, game two.
Did they go AJ Puck?
I think you're right. I think they went AJ. Yes, they did. They went AJ Puck, and AJ Puck got hit around. AJ
Puck got shelled.
Yes, I do remember that now. Yeah, he got hit around.
Because I knew they were thinking about stretching him out to be a starter, and I thought that was like a shaky idea.
Then they had game 3 was Ryan Weathers, which is yikes. That's a big yikes.
Yeah, that is a
Wait, whatever happened to Sixto?
I know
what happened to Sixto?
I know he I know he was in one of those games. I don't know which one it was. I don't think he started it though.
I'm looking it up right now because he pitched in 2 games actually, and he's got a 6 ERA right now.
Oh Jesus! I just got a replay of the Rowdy Tellez homer from earlier.
9 innings. Oh no, I was spring training. So he's gone 3 innings pitched. That's not good. 6 earned runs and 8.19 FIP.
Oh,
he hasn't walked anybody, which is good, but he also hasn't struck anybody out.
Oh, that's bad.
Which for a guy who in 2020 was 7th on the Rookie of the Year ballot, 39 innings pitched, 3.46 ERA, and was just disgusting that year. I mean, he showed he's got some stuff. And I understand he's still coming back from injury. We don't know what we're getting yet. But I expected him to come back as a starter. I guess the Marlins have other plans, and I don't know the full inside of that. It very well could be that he's just not feeling 100% right. But I thought he might be a starter.
He might not be. And, like, it's fine. And if he has to build up to being a starter, whatever. Yeah. But, like, in terms of other NL teams, I mean, look, I don't think either of us have Miami or Pittsburgh doing anything really threatening to the playoff picture or even getting in the playoffs. Like, I mean, Miami's fringe.
100%.
However, I guess the big surprise being AZ in Colorado and Arizona not sweeping the Rockies.
I was just about to get into that. I understand they didn't sweep the Rockies, but my one note that I have...
They bludgeoned them in the first game.
Bludgeoned them. They broke a record by scoring 14 runs in an inning in opening day. That's insane.
If you were pitching that inning, hang up your cleats.
Don't say that, because I felt bad for the kid because it was his MLB debut.
Oh!
Yeah. Yep.
That's like what Alex Cora did to Slayton against J-Rod.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, never mind. Don't hang up your cleats. I'm so sorry.
You still got it, buddy. You still
You'll be fine. That's not on you.
Yeah,
that's on your manager.
That reminds me. So this is an off-topic story, but it's a hysterical story. So there was one time I went to a Cardinals game when I was playing baseball out there in St. Louis. And not for the Cardinals or any professional organization, just so no one concerns that.
He is a free agent, Cardinals. If you need a pitcher,
hey, I'll take $10 million. So we're sitting literally right behind the opposing team's bullpen, and they got this guy warming up, this kid, and me and one of my teammates are heckling this poor kid. We're just sitting there, you hang it, we bang it, you're gonna get freaking rocked. We're just screaming at this poor kid, and then now coming in for his major league debut, and I'm like, oh no, I'm so sorry. So I don't know who it was. I don't remember your name. But whoever it was, if you ever recognize me, which you probably won't, and you shouldn't, if you have a career in the MLB currently, you don't recognize me. I'm sorry. That I should not have heckled you that badly on your major league debut.
Shout out Phillies second baseman Bryson Stott.
Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. Really, don't do that to me.
Okay. Anyways, also in the NL.
Oh, hang on. I want to go back to the Rockies Diamondbacks really quickly.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Just to say that starting rotation, once they get Jordan Montgomery and once they get Erod back, whoo,
starting rotation it's going to be one of the best in baseball.
Their worst starting pitcher, their 5 guy, might be Brandon Pfaadt.
Brandon Pfaadt was incredibly effective in the playoffs last year.
And he dealt today, too. He absolutely dealt today. He put up, I think he gave up 1 earned run. I'm pretty sure.
He
1 earned run. I think he struck out 7 or 8.
6. He screwed my bet. I had him 8.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's what it was. Yeah, I mean, so if that's your 5 guy, good God, that starting rotation.
That's nasty.
That very well, with your Mariners pick of best rotations, they might be right there. They might be right there. Like, Brandon Pfaadt's your 5, and not only that, if he can do what he has the stuff to do, whoo, that's a scary rotation.
No, absolutely.
So,
moving on to the next NL game before we get into the AL. Mets Milwaukee is apparently a rivalry now.
Apparently. All due to former Philly.
Former Philly embodies the Phillies until his death, Rhys Hoskins, my guy.
Yeah.
I have his jersey hanging in my closet right now. Jeff McNeil, definitely a hypocrite. The guy has slid straight through Von Grissom's legs beforehand. So being pissed off about a guy sliding hard into second where he didn't even try to hit you, he genuinely could have been safe on the play. And that's the whole rule. If you can be safe, you're clear to break up the play.
Yeah, and you're clear to slide like that.
And McNeil has done that without a chance of being safe beforehand. So him being mad about a guy who, do I think Rhys is beating that out? No. Good God, the guy is not fast.
Yeah.
But the rule states if he could be safe, he's clear to break up a play, and he could have been. Was he going to be? No, but he's clear to break up the play. And he's pissed off, and Rhys going, wow.
That was absolutely hysterical.
I hope that is their extra base hit celebration for the rest of the season.
It should be. And if that's the extra base hit celebration, I sent a text to you earlier today that I wanted either the Phillies, the Rangers, or the Orioles to win the World Series just because they're the funnest team. They just are. Last year, the Orioles with the Dong Bong. Amazing. Yeah. Rangers last year just blasting Creed. Amazing. It's still, you hate, yeah. I'm feeling you hate Creed, but no, I love my...
Okay, I loved the fact that Higher was their gathering song. That is so funny. It's just so funny.
I mean, because the videos...
Josh Young did not grow up with that. He had no idea. The dude was talking about Fortnite on the ESPN interview, and I was like...
literally stated that he's better than his brother at Fortnite, and that's what matters.
He's better than his baby brother Jace at Fortnite, and I was like, man, I feel old.
I'm like, wait, what's Fortnite again?
It's I remember playing Fortnite when I was 18. Yeah, no, painful. It sucks. But
I remember playing Fortnite when I was 21, so yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
But that game apparently has Milwaukee is now they hate the New York Mets, which is
again, who doesn't hate the New York Mets? Even the Mets hate the Mets.
Everyone should hate the New York Mets. It's just sorry, Mom, but everyone should hate the New York Mets.
Look, after what they did to Jacob deGrom, I hate the Mets forever. That's
9-9 with a 1.77. Yeah, we know that's criminal. That's criminal. Yes. It's like what the Mariners are doing to their current rotation.
Yeah, except for they're doing it to their entire rotation.
Yeah, which is brother.
Yeah. At least show up to work one day, offense.
Yeah, come on, you got to give someone the wins. But we were saying, that rivalries being a thing again, so good for baseball. I don't care who it is. Having teams that just genuinely hate each other, it's fan bases that genuinely hate each other. If the Milwaukee Brewers fan base all of a sudden hates the New York Mets, awesome. Good. That is so fun.
Yeah.
Who the hell cares that these Wisconsin people hate these people from Queens? It's fun.
It is.
Rivalry, it makes baseball fun.
Agreed.
You need that to build that kind of thing. St. Louis and Chicago, you guys hate each other.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that rivalry hasn't been as strong as it used to be because
and it should be.
It should be.
It should be.
And I've been to going back to the respectful thing.
That rivalry should never go away.
Yeah,
it should never go away.
I've been to a ton of Cardinal Cubs games, and the amount of times that I'm sitting there talking smack to a Cubs fan, and they're talking smack back to me, and am I ever worried that it's going to result in physical violence? No. Are they? No. But is it good for the game? Yes, 100%. Not the violence, but the arguing and messing with each other. Literally my best friend in law school right now is a Cubs fan. And the reason we're best friends is because we were talking, literally he sat down across from me at orientation. We start talking back and forth. And then I find out he's a Cubs fan and I go, oh God, not the Cubs, the worst team in baseball. And yeah, from there he goes, oh God, let me guess, you're a Cardinals fan? And I'm like, darn right I am. And that's how we became literally my best friend.
It's I go to law school in upstate New York. Syracuse Mets are the AAA affiliate of the New York Mets. I know more Mets fans than I've ever been comfortable with knowing, and it's like, I hate their baseball team to hell. However, I'm friends with these people.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
it's like
And
the in-game shit talking is part of baseball, and
exactly,
you have to love that in order to love the game too, because
100%.
like the players do it too,
Of course.
and the
And
players are friends off the
I
field too.
was just about to say that the players are great friends off the field, but on the field, they're playing the game. That's how you play.
Yeah,
Um, and
like I mean,
so
like I go back to thinking this, like during a Phillies Braves rain delay one game, like there's a video of Austin Riley sitting in the dugout looking over at Brandon Marsh, and Alec Boehm is looking like he has never seen rain in his damn life. He's like, and Brandon Marsh is looking over. Brandon Marsh grew up in Atlanta, like, and he's looking over at Austin Riley. He's like, "What are we doing?" And Austin Riley's sitting there like, "I want to play." And we're like, no one has any. It's like these guys are actually friends.
exactly.
Everyone can talk shit, and it doesn't need to result in violence. You can just be a normal human being.
I mean, you're a Phillies fan. Of all people who know just shit talk and anger, Phillies fans know that. Phillies fans are the king of that.
Yeah.
And again, Phillies, don't get me wrong, there's riots in Philadelphia anytime anything happens.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, I'm still waiting. Aware. I think, what was it on? I think it's on Monday or Tuesday.
Dollar Dog Night. Yeah, Tuesday.
Yes. Well,
it's Tuesday.
Yes, it's Tuesday. Over under on innings played before dogs are on the field, I'm giving it the first half of the first inning. Like, there's no chance there's not.
I'll have to look at the starter, because if it starts going poorly, it's gonna go badly.
Dogs are going.
The dogs are going on the field. And you'll be like, guaranteed. Oh, well, they're not spending a ton of money. They're spending too much money on the dogs. They're not going to throw them on the field. It's like, no, we're going to throw them. They're going to be there.
If you were not in law school right now and you were not at that game, I would be trying to sue you. Is what I'd be. I'd be like, dude, you need to be at that game throwing hot dogs on the field. Like,
I should be.
if you didn't have law school things to do, I'd be like, dude, you need to go throw dogs on that field, because it's criminal that they got rid of the Dollar Dog Night, and they thought it would result in, and not only that, but they thought it would result in dogs not being thrown on the field. I hope there's more. I hope
there should be more. There should be more.
I hope they throw so many dogs on the field that they bring back Dollar Dog Night. Like,
they should. They really should. And it's just like,
so. Like, and I want to.
We're talking about how great rivalries are in baseball.
Yeah,
like that is just that's such an important factor in baseball. We're gonna get to that later. But
and I want to go a little bit back to the Rhys Hoskins Brewers sweeping the Mets thing.
Throwing behind him after he's beat your skull in is so dumb. It makes no sense.
It actually, that goes exactly into what I was kind of getting at. I feel like anytime there's like a rivalry type thing that happens, whoever was the more cringe person their team ends up getting slaughtered. For example, last year the Bryce Harper Orlando Arcia thing. Oh my God, Bryce Harper, the attaboy Harper.
Down?
Yeah, and then Harper the next game decides, oh yeah, I'm gonna hit 2 freaking tanks and we're gonna take the series from you guys. Every time. And then sure enough, the Rhys Hoskins Jeff McNeil thing. Jeff McNeil looked very cringy, being very upset about that, and then the
screaming boo him,
and everybody else. Then everybody, like, and then sure enough, it goes right back in their face, and the Brewers sweep the Mets. Like, I feel like it's always whichever player is, I won't say not in the right, but it just looks cringy. You're like, I don't know
the
why.
The one
that's
I don't complaining the most, or like saying the thing where it's like, that should bite you. It normally ends up biting you.
Yep.
Baseball gods love karma.
Yeah,
they love karma.
Yes. And as we've discussed on multiple occasions, baseball gods are real. Actually, leading us into the kind of, because we're kind of going NL AL, leading us into the Cubs versus the Rangers.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying the baseball gods hate Justin Steele. That's not what I'm getting at. Not at all.
No, we're not giving that.
Unfortunately, no, that's not the case at all. And I don't hate Justin Steele. Actually, I like Justin Steele a lot. He, unfortunately, game 1, pulls a hammy. Looks like he's on the 15-day IL. But he was shoving for the time that he was playing.
He was on fire. Carl Ravitch couldn't understand it. It was the most hysterical
He can't
Sunday
understand a
night
lot of things.
baseball broadcast I've ever seen because Carl Ravitch was so confused as to how a guy who threw sub 94 could possibly be getting strikeouts or like getting through this many innings. He just didn't understand the fact that he was shutting down an offense that won the World Series last year. And I was like, this has always been who Justin Steele is.
He was their ace
Did you
last year
not
for a
do
reason.
research? Like
he
no
was
research.
their ace last year for a reason. Like he's dominant. Like he was their game one starter for a reason because
And the play he made, it was
play.
a good play. It was a good
Mhm.
play. It sucked that he pulled his hamstring on it. It's like
It absolutely sucks.
I've pulled a hamstring. I've seen it happen. I knew he pulled a hamstring the second I saw him, like the way he fell.
The second he grabbed the ball and I saw him pop up, I was like, he pulled a hammy. Like it was, you could just see he tried to put pressure on the leg, and I was like, oh nope. It was
like it
right
was
away.
a pulled hamstring, and like people were saying, oh, maybe it's a knee injury. I was like, no, he pulled his hamstring.
That's a hammy. Exactly.
It was
that's what it's showing as, which is in the end of at the end of the day is good.
Better for them.
Like
yes, no,
because
it's better than the worst case.
Yes,
like the knee injury would have sucked.
This year. Yeah, he'll be back sometime this year. It's only 15-day IL, so he'll hopefully be back pretty soon. To go how he was shoving, 4 2/3 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, 3 hits. Like shoving.
That was gross. Like this is one of the best offenses in baseball.
Possibly the best. Like I talked about it before we started this episode. I feel like we may have done a disservice not talking about how deadly that Rangers offense is.
We might have, but also the Orioles are seriously putting their name in the hat there.
Oh, agreed. But if the guys that are showing, like, the Rangers offense is the exact same offense as it was last year, with second place in MVP votes, Corey Seager. And if he would have played the whole season, he very well could have won the MVP. And that's a different debate. Yeah.
Free swinger. That guy loves to swing the bat.
And then third on the list, Marcus Semien, who's done it 3 times now, just so everyone knows. I don't know why he's criminally underrated. People don't understand. Like, I never understand how Marcus Semien.
It's the amount of time. Because he's never led the league in home runs. People don't think that's people don't like guys that don't hit home runs.
I mean, I guess, but I mean, there was one year in 2021 he hit 45 home runs. Like,
I know. I'm in agreement with you. I'm just saying people don't like that. Like, I don't get it, but like, whatever. Like,
I never understand it.
Dominant middle infield. Like a completely dominant middle infield.
I think every year that I've done fantasy baseball, when he's been playing like at the level that he plays, I've had him on my team, and every time he kills it for my team. Like he's been third in MVP voting.
He's a
3
great
times.
ball player.
3 times. And not only that, he plays every single game. Last year, 162 games. Year before that, 161. Year before that, 162.
And he never wants to sit.
No. He's like, the guy is criminally underrated. And then that's one of their other guys. Then they got Adolis Garcia, who we know way too much about. We might even know like his shoe size, everything. Like,
we know a lot about you, Adolis.
Yeah, Adolis, we stalked you to no extent, because just to clear our names, during the arbitration competition, you were the main guy that we had to argue for. So we had to learn a lot about you.
You didn't even go to arbitration.
True.
You filed, and then you got out of it. Smart man.
Smart man. But I think it's smart on both team and player side, because I think this year he might have got screwed in arbitration, but then that second year, it would have got paid.
Shout out the Rangers. They haven't been to arbitration in 23 years.
Yes.
Good for them organizationally. Yeah. That is a great look.
But like that lineup is loaded, and then they got Wyatt Langford, who just came up. Wyatt Langford literally has not in his minor league career put up less than a 1 OPS.
Mm-hmm. And we're talking about that right now. Your AL Rookie of the Year pick has been very good so far. My AL Rookie of the Year pick has a 1.6 OPS in his AAA start so far.
Oh, his AAA.
Yeah.
You say. Who did you pick again?
Jackson Holiday. Where does Jackson Jackson Holiday belong?
Where does Jackson Holiday play?
Oh, all right.
I took the organizational things into consideration, and I thought, Wyatt Langford and the Rangers are committed to winning right now. And apparently the Orioles are not, which that's the one thing. As much as I love the Orioles owner, I love that guy, you screwed up. You screwed that one up.
Mike Elias should call him up right now.
Yeah.
Mike Elias should call him up right now.
That really annoyed me. I think that's really bad for the game, in my opinion.
No, I agree, because you have a top 3 rotation, that is lethal. I'll be honest, right now, unless DeGrom and Scherzer are healthy right now, I'm taking the Orioles top 3 against the Rangers top 3.
Oh, yes, 100%.
And if you have a Jackson Holiday that comes up, say, mid-April, and just is hitting the cover off the ball, that team could press for the World Series this 100%. Year.
But again, and I completely agree.
You have to commit to it this year, because I think 100%. Look, I don't think the Orioles window closes after this year. I think the Orioles window opens the second they call up Jackson Holiday.
Mm-hmm. And I think the window is open now. I think the window is 100%
the window is 100% open for the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah,
but and this weekend to showcase that. This is a perfect time to talk about that.
Yeah,
they beat the living hell out of the Angels.
Yes, they beat the brakes off the Angels, and that's what we expected them to do.
That is what we expected. You have Corbin Burns.
I mean, they did. They lost today. The Orioles lost today, but okay, it's.
Who was it?
Reed Detmers started today for them.
And who was the Orioles pitcher today? Was it Means?
Wells,
Tyler Wells.
Yeah, okay. Tyler Wells.
It's not even John Means.
Yeah, exactly. John Means could come back and do what he does.
I think both of us agree that John Means is more of a guy than Tyler Wells.
Agreed, 100%. 100% agree.
It's and I don't hate Tyler Wells, but I also don't think he's rotation material.
Actually, shocking. I don't think they have John Means in the starting rotation right now.
Is he not healthy?
I don't know. They have Dean Kramer going tomorrow. They got Irvin going the day after that.
Are they bridging a gap?
I don't
know. Are they looking for Means to get healthy?
I don't.
Okay, we might actually have to look that up, because I want to know. Because
I completely agree.
John Means should be in that rotation.
100% agree. Rehab. He's doing a rehab assignment in AAA.
Oh, okay. Well, then that makes sense. Yes,
that makes more sense.
That makes sense.
Okay.
But the
crisis averted.
Yes, we don't have to have a meltdown on the podcast.
Yep.
But Burns, Bradish. Once Bradish comes back, because Bradish obviously is not in the rotation right now. But Grayson looked great.
Yeah, Grayson looked amazing.
And you've got Gunnar looks like a weapon.
Gunnar is a weapon. He is a weapon.
Did you see the play he made today at short?
I didn't see it.
Oh my god, it was disgusting. MLB posted it, and it was like a ball hit on the screws, too short, flagged it down, up, back, threw it straight to first, and he gunned this guy at first.
He's the guy. He is.
That guy's gonna win an MVP. He's gonna win an MVP. He has to.
Very well could.
That would not shock me in the slightest if he wins more than one, because that guy is just a weapon.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, his defensive ability is absurd, and then when you combine that with his hitting as a shortstop,
he's hitting power position numbers as a shortstop.
Yeah, I mean, last year 814 OPS, Rookie of the Year, 8th in MVP
28 homers.
Yeah,
28 homers as a shortstop.
Not only that, a rookie shortstop, a young rookie shortstop
who was just figuring it out. He was just figuring out the majors.
Right now, you said a 1.6881 OPS. That's what Gunnar Henderson has right now.
I know.
Dude,
the Orioles are going to be such a problem.
They're going to be, and
especially with that new owner. You know what? Get into the new owner quote, because we're talking about the Orioles right now. We may as well get into that. Because
which one?
the first game one, where so Mike Trout hits the first inning home run off Corbin Burns, and Corbin Burns proceeds to go 6 innings, allowing only 1 hit, striking out 11.
Did what he normally does.
Nasty. Yeah. Nasty as hell. And also, let's not shy away from the Orioles defense being stellar as it has been for the past year and a half at this point. They've just been so good at helping their pitchers out of tough spots, especially with Gunner's ability at short, Jordan Westburg at second, Ryan Mountcastle being an outstanding defensive first baseman, and also he tears the cover off the ball.
Yeah,
and
he also
beats
hits,
the hell
and he's
out of lefties.
been doing it. He's always been doing it. Like,
their third base, they can rotate. Like they can put Gunner there and call up Jackson Holliday tomorrow.
100%.
And they would still probably have one of the best infield defenses in the AL. And
do they do that? That makes me question. Do they do that?
Do they do that, or do they put Jackson? Or do they put Jackson at third? Because Gunner is such a fantastic shortstop. You have to think.
Yeah,
you have to think. What do they do? Because I don't know if I want to take Gunner out of short.
Who they got at second base right now?
Jordan Westburg.
Oh, Jordan Westburg. Maybe move him to third?
You could put Westburg at third.
Yeah. I would say put him to... That's what I would do, personally. I'd put him at third, keep Gunnar Henderson at short, and then move Jackson Holliday to second. Personally, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, because I would think that's the route, because like,
I think that's Gunner's a nasty center infield.
Yeah, because Gunner was great at third last year too when he played it in limited spurts. He was great at third, but you're also like his best position's short.
Do you want to move him there? Exactly.
Yeah, and
so
it's like
I personally would go Gunnar Henderson short, Jackson Holliday second, and Jordan Westburg at third is what I would personally do.
Because Jordan Westburg is not a defensive liability. That dude is good.
No, he's good.
Yeah.
But I think just making that middle infield a freaking force would be awesome.
You're not getting hits up the middle. Like, you're just not.
No, exactly. I say
you hit
take
a ground
that
ball,
away.
you're out. Like, you hit a ground ball, you're out.
Yeah.
Congrats.
But so now we've slobbered all over the Orioles for a bit. I want to go back to slobbering on the Rangers.
Elias, hire us both.
Yeah, seriously. I want to go back to slobbering on the Rangers a little bit because we honestly pretty much dismissed them. Both of us did for winning the division. 100% both of us dismissed them.
And I think that was more rotation. I think it was more rotation concerns than offensive concerns. And they've 100% immediately,
but if they're
lack of a better term, smack that out of the park.
Yeah.
They beat the hell out of the baseball.
I mean, I sent you a meme today that I think literally describes
You did. It makes the most perfect sense.
Offense for the Rangers. The meme features an Elsa Jean and several big people that maybe co-starring with them.
It.
Yes,
and I just basically
put the Rangers lineup and Elsa Jean as MLB starting or pitchers in general as what's going to happen to them, because even today when they lost the game, they put up 5 runs. Like that's it's above
MLB average. Like
they put up 11 the day before. They put up. Oh, I guess they didn't play on Friday. Let's see. They put 11, and then they put up, I guess, only 4 on game 1. Like that lineup bangs.
They only put up 4 game 1. Plus, and that's the one thing I would say is the one concern is the fact that they faced an elite starting pitcher in that game, and they actually did get shut down until he got hurt.
Yeah,
and that's not going to happen all the time. And I also don't think that's going to be a constant appearance in that Rangers thing.
I always feel like starting pitchers, I shouldn't say always, it pretty much shows usually the way baseball goes
good pitching beats good hitting.
At the beginning of the season, usually that's how it goes. It starts to sway a little more. I mean, it's always going to be good pitching beats good hitting. 100% always agree.
Yeah.
But the hitters start to catch on to pitchers as the season goes on, and hitting numbers start to go up as the season goes on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's something that if this is what you're getting at the beginning of the season with Semien, Langford, Josh Young, Adolis Garcia, Jared Walsh, Evan Carter, shortstop, Corey Seager, like that lineup bangs top to bottom.
Oh, I mean,
like their worst hitter might be Jonah Heim, who in the game
walked the game off.
Thank you. And this is going back to the baseball gods are real. MLB umpires.
Pass ball. That was stupid as hell.
Yes.
Oh my God. That's so dumb.
Baseball gods are 100% real because that foul ball in game 1 of the
That was a
Cubs
foul
Rangers
ball.
series.
It was
a
a
foul
foul
ball,
ball.
and
It was a
the
foul
fact
ball.
that that's not reviewable is criminal. It should be 100%
Oh, it's
reviewable.
so dumb.
Um,
So dumb.
should have been reviewable. Jonah Heim lets the ball get past him. They scored. They score the winning or the leading run.
And you can see him behind the umpire going like,
Yeah.
like he clearly did hit it.
Yes, and this is how you know the baseball gods are real, because Travis Jankowski comes up in the next inning, who had like 11 career home runs.
Phillies rebuild legend.
Like, what? And then
I love Travis
Jankowski
Jankowski.
hits a freaking tank. And that's, if anything shows me the baseball gods are real, it's that. Like, he has 11 career home runs, and one of them was to tie that game. And then none other than Jonah Heim comes up.
Off of the Cubs closer too.
Yep. And then Jonah Heim comes up to win the game later. I mean, that lineup is just banging.
Devastating. It's devastating.
And if they come back, and to counter your argument for the you're talking about the Orioles winning the World Series if they get they do what they do. If the Rangers come back and they get a healthy DeGrom and they get a healthy Max Scherzer,
dude, that might be the most exciting ALCS ever.
I mean, could you imagine Game 1, Corbin Burns versus Jacob DeGrom? Game 2, Kyle Bradish versus Max Scherzer.
That's
Game 3, Nathan Eovaldi versus Grayson. What?
That's must-see TV.
Both of those, and then not only that, both those lineups bang. So it's like,
yeah. Like, who are you going to pitch to? Like, the leadoff hitter for both of them could take you deep immediately.
Their 9-hole hitter could take you deep immediately.
Yeah. Like, and you're just like, there's nowhere to pitch around. You have three, like immediately three of the best starting pitchers in the entire AL.
I mean,
just regardless of AL in baseball, you're like, that's must-see TV. You have to watch it.
That is as fun as baseball can get. That is the best pitchers, the best hitters. It's basically all-star team versus all-star team, honestly.
And this isn't like, so you have the Orioles who just lost to the Rangers last year, who are coming in looking for revenge, and a way more mature Orioles team.
Oh, for sure.
Have the playoff experience now. They got smoked by this Rangers team. They're going to come in looking for blood.
Oh, yeah. And you think the Rangers aren't, though? Like, it's going to be a bloodbath.
Oh, my God. It would.
I mean, you don't think AG,
I want that. Dude, I want that so bad now.
You don't want AG
that so bad.
Think about AG hitting the bomb in the 7th inning to tie the game up. That
dude
is
has some of the
storybook
nastiest pimp jobs of all time.
The pimp job he had in Game 1 cracked me up because it only went into the third row. He pimped it so hard it only went third row.
Yeah,
and like he pimped it like he hit it like into the third deck.
I thought he hit it 500 feet the way he walked away from it.
And don't get me wrong, I knew it was gone off the bat. I was like, that's gone.
I thought it was gone. But I was like,
the fact that it only went to the third row, I was like, that's concerning that you pimped it that much. I'm like, what if that would have like died? Like if
it's like, what if that was a flyout? You would have looked like Josh Donaldson.
Or like if it hit off the bottom of the fence or something like that, and you're like,
because that was like one of the hardest pimp jobs ever. Like just to toss the bat to the side. I was like,
and just off balance, like yeah, like it was. That pimp job was amazing.
That was beautiful, but
so
yeah,
now let's go back to the American League. Let's wrap some things up.
Yeah,
the Tigers swept the White Sox, which But
hey, look, we predicted the Tigers to win the division, and look who's top of the division.
Yeah. Tarek Skubal dealt, absolutely dealt.
Nasty.
Jack Flaherty.
Oh yeah, okay. No, you brought it up. I'm not saying anything.
I'm hurting.
I know you're hurting. You sent me a message earlier today, and I was like,
yeah, he's back.
Yep.
Jack Flaherty is, from all accounts, he is back. He absolutely dealt today. I want to say six punchies, 1 earned run.
I can pull it up. I know he was good today.
I'm hurting.
I know he was good.
No, I'm pretty sure no walks. Like,
the no walks is the most beautiful part of that.
And then like it hurts me that he's back. It doesn't hurt me that it's back because I love Jack Flaherty. I just wish he was back for the Cardinals, not for no walks, 7 punchies, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits allowed.
He didn't even get the win. That sucks.
No, but he didn't get the win because
that does suck.
Yeah, that does suck. Should have got the win. but he did not. Got a quality
They
start.
get the save. They got the save to Jason Foley, who apparently throws 100 now. So
Yeah, apparently. So yeah, we've been talking about we were very high. Both of us picked the Rangers or the Tigers to win the division, and so far things are panning out just like we thought it would.
Early returns indicate that we were of the right mindset.
Yes,
that
sounds like
pitching staff is very good.
Yep.
Their lineup currently is swinging the bats well.
Carpenter's got a 1.3. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he hit a tank today. It's helping me
Mm-hmm.
in my fantasy leagues. Actually,
Canada's hitting the shit out of the ball.
Their home run celebration.
Around,
Their home run celebration is awesome.
What is it?
It's the Little Caesars pizza. Like the spears,
I love it.
3 pizzas on
I
top.
did see that. You're like, I did see that.
It's the pizza.
See, and again, back to fun teams. I want fun teams to win. That looks like a fun team minus Javi Baez swinging at everything. Yeah. It's like I'm playing MLB The Show with it. It's like I'm playing MLB The Show against a 4-year-old. Like I just don't even throw it in the zone, and he's just like, yeah. But that also leads us into more of the AL Central. The Twins, they took the series against the Royals, but
got shelled today.
Yes, and Bobby Witt is the guy. Like,
yeah, he's just the guy. Like,
they paid him, and he deserved every dollar of it. Like,
however, I do think this reflects our AL Central predictions pretty well.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly. Shows exactly what we thought.
The Twins are a better overall team, but the Royals are going to win one of the starts, and they win the Brady Singer start.
Yep,
that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, Brady Singer's always been serviceable. He's your typical, like, he's going to keep you in the ball game. Like,
and he was good today. He wasn't bad, but
he's really good. Yeah,
but it's not going to win you a division.
No, exactly. It's exactly what we said it was going to be. And also our predictions for the Twins with health concerns, like we said in the predictions podcast. Royce Lewis he is out for at least a month. So it's a
damn shame. It's a damn shame for him
because he's a guy. When he plays, he's put up numbers, like insane numbers. But it's just he's always injured, and the whole team. You look at Byron Buxton, always injured. Carlos Correa, always injured.
Twins, do us a favor. Investigate your medical staff, like, now. Like, just do it. Like, because Royce is, what, 23? Figure it the
25.
hell out.
25.
He's 20.
But yeah. Like,
he's older than I expected he was. But,
yeah.
Okay. No, investigate your medical staff. This is, at this point, it's criminal.
Always injured. I don't even know what Byron Buxton did.
He tweaked something in his back, I think. Wait, did he play?
I think he did play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's played. Yeah, he did.
Okay.
He's played in 2 games.
Surprise.
He's played in 2 games. Yeah. And when he plays, he's electric. It's just play. Like, it's So it's the concerns that we had, and then not only that, but they're starting pitching. You want to get into that? Because you have a tale of what to talk about with that.
Which one?
You know, the Twins starting pitching concerns, and why you have a
Okay, so yes, Bailey Ober is on my fantasy team. He was supposed to be sitting 97, and it kind of just didn't work out this game. He got knocked around by the Royals, so that coincided with him being I haven't dropped him yet, but I'm about to. But Joe Ryan was also sitting 96, so that's a little bit like what's going on there kind of material. But yeah, no, Bailey Ober got knocked around. Like, it was ugly. And look, I understand that Bobby Witt, like, if you give up a home run to Bobby Witt, fine. Like, that's the dude
Bobby
is
Witt
just
Jr.
Yeah, he's nuts. The amount of runs you gave up, dude, you maybe need to reevaluate your pitching style. Like, because that's bad. Like, that was bad.
When you drafted him, I told you before the podcast I had concerns about that pick.
So it was late anyway. Like, it's not like the guy is going to be. It's not like the guy's going to be
second overall pick. I'm just kidding.
It would have been like me taking a Roldis Chapman.
Yeah. Or Wander Franco.
Never gonna play. He's on my team. But yeah, I mean, they're starting pitching. It's I just don't know if it's good enough.
No,
Like
I
to
completely
win that
agree.
division, because give me a 1-2 of Pablo Lopez and Joe Ryan versus Cole Reagans and Brady Singer. That's a toss-up, and
Yeah.
that's not good.
Yep. And Pablo Lopez, I'm going to shoot some shots. I'm going to shoot some
Look, I
shots right now.
like Pablo, and I
I do
think
too.
he's like,
I do
and
too.
I love the fact that the MLB is propagating him, because like the guy is actually a genius. Like he could have been a doctor,
No, he's
but
but
is he a
the hype.
top 10 pitcher?
No, no, he's not. He is not a top 10
He's
pitcher.
not. I could
He's
name
not.
10 better. Like
Yes, he's the MLB had a post saying that he was a top 10 pitcher. I believe they had him
I
at like
think
fourth.
yeah, I thought they had him at 4.
Yeah, which is insane because last year 3.66 ERA. Year before that 3.75 ERA. Year before that 3.07. Which 3.07.
None of those are even number 1 numbers.
No, exactly. If you tell me if he posted a 307 all the time, yeah, you're a number 1. 3.66, you're not a number 1.
No,
You're number 2.
307, you're getting close to a number 1. Like I would
Yeah,
prefer my number 1 gets below that, but like at the
agreed.
same time, sure, that's
I mean,
fine. I'd take it. I would take it as a number 1.
take a guess what his career ERA is.
3.84.
Do you have that pulled up?
No, I don't.
Oh,
Is it
you
actually
hit it on the
3.84?
dot. You hit it exactly on the dot.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Let's
Got it
go.
on the dot. Yep. 3.84, which you cannot tell me a top 10 pitcher in the league has a 3.84 career ERA.
3.84 career. It's like that's like a serviceable 4, maybe a 3, like maybe a 3 on a fringe team.
Exactly. I mean, it's on the Cardinals. He's an ace. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, he kind of is. Like for example,
okay, but you would take him. You would take him.
Oh, 100% I'd take him. 100% I'd take him. 100% I'd take him.
Dude, he would make your rotation better.
For example, now a top 10 pitcher in the MLB, Garrett Cole. He is clearly a top 10 pitcher in the MLB.
Yeah, absolutely.
Career ERA 3.17. That is a top 10 pitcher in the MLB.
Yeah, you're getting with the second you like flirt with sub 3, you're a top 10 pitcher.
Exactly. And not only that, but then the innings pitched. He's been over 200 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Pablo Lopez has never been over 200 innings. Highest he's been is 180.
It's like the Glasnow thing.
Yeah.
It's like the Glasnow thing, and I just I don't. That's why I don't love Glasnow being named a number 10.
No, I completely agree.
In that thing, I don't
120
love it.
innings pitched is highest. You are not.
That's not
a
enough.
top 10 pitcher. No, it's not. I understand if you want to go solely based on stuff, then yeah, you can say Glasnow has top 10 pitcher stuff.
Yeah, if you're only going 100%. On stuff, fine. But we're talking overall. Like we're talking overall.
100% agree.
I want a pitcher that's going to give me close to 200 innings minimum. Yep. If he's my ace, I want him going close to 200 innings and having. Look, everyone wants a 2.5 ERA. That's not always possible, but I want him having between a 3.10 and a 2.5.
Yeah,
in that range, that's an ace.
That's an ace on a team that should be winning a division. Like if you're arguing the Twins are winning the division, you want your ace sitting between a 2.5 and a 3.1 and 200 innings. And I understand that's not the case anymore. Baseball's changed, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
I'm getting honestly I'm getting very tired of pitchers not being able to go deep into games. And this is a qualm with front offices in general. And honestly, one of the things that I kind of liked about the Cardinals' decisions this offseason was that they emphasized starting innings pitched. I think that is a big thing for that people are taking advantage or are not taking advantage of. I think when your starters are getting deep into games, you're giving your bullpen a day off is what you're doing. You're giving the bullpen a rest day. When bullpens are so readily used, you're using every single one of those guys multiple days a week, and that wears.
And how do you end up with more Tommy John surgeries? That's exactly it. Yeah. And I know we texted about this Phillies opening day. I said I would have sent Zach Wheeler out for the 7th,
and I completely agreed with you.
And look what happened.
Yep,
the game got away from us.
And Wheeler was dealing. If
he didn't even have his best stuff, and he was still shutting out the Braves.
He was doing what Zach Wheeler does, and that's a pitcher. He's a pitcher, and what pitchers do is they figure out on the days that their stuff is not on, they figure out how to get outs. And Zach Wheeler was figuring it out that last inning. I mean, he was 100% figuring it out. And if you get another inning out of him, who's to say that they don't blow the lead? Like, who's to say that
they might not? They might get through it, and it just it didn't work out.
And I think front offices are just getting too much involved in that of it's the third time through the lineup, so we got to switch the pitcher, or he's at 80 pitches, so we need to worry about switching the pitcher. And I think I think there needs to be a feel aspect to it, and I think the best organizations have a good feel. And generally, when it comes close to like playoff time and stuff like that, I feel like the Phillies have a pretty good feel of that.
No, I agree. Overall. I do agree.
I think it needs to go through the season. I think the feel has to be through the season. It cannot be just playoff time. Because
I agree.
How many divisions or how many teams miss the playoffs by one game? And guess what? That one game could be in April. That one game could be in March. Like, that one game is anywhere throughout the season. And if you you miss out on the playoffs by one game, guess what? You got to look back at the entire season and question everything that happened.
Yeah, you have to question every decision. You can't leave one out to dry.
Exactly. And I think the feel aspect of things has gone so far from the game that it's basically baseball nerds that are looking at the game saying, oh, it's third time through the lineup, they need to switch things over. It's they're at 80 pitches, they're clearly worn out. And there's been times, like, I was a pitcher, like I've pitched a lot, and there was times where my arm at 80 pitches felt like, yeah, it's time to come out of this ball game. And then there's times where I was at 80 pitches and I was like, I got 30 more pitches at least. Like, yeah. And it's a feel thing.
Yeah. And, I think that's part of Moneyball has, in a way, like, great movie, great book.
I hated the movie, liked the book.
I liked the movie just because it's like a fun movie to watch. Not because it's great. But, like, no. I liked the movie.
The only thing I hated about the movie, you can't talk about. The only thing that I hate about the movie is you can't talk about the A's in that year and not
talking about how stacked that lineup was.
No, not the lineup, the rotation.
The rotation was disgusting. Like
Barry Zito, like Mark Mulder, like what?
Barry Zito had one of the best curveballs in baseball history.
Yeah, like it's that. Yeah.
They completely ignored that factor. And you know what? Whatever. They tried to romanticize the fact that team might have sucked. And it's just like, no, they weren't going to suck then. They suck now. That's true. We're about to talk about them because we're wrapping up the AL stuff.
I want that to be our last point because there's not much to say.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
But like again, the AL, Baltimore beat the hell out of the Angels so bad that Ron Washington called a team meeting after game number 2.
Yeah, true.
Hysterical. He said he doesn't want the first 2 games to set the tone for the entire season. I'm just like, you don't have the lineup to back that talk up.
Nor the rotation.
Oh, definitely not the rotation. Dude, we were texting
they might be
Yeah. We were texting during the first game, right?
Yeah, we were.
The Patrick Sandoval start?
Yep.
Oh my God. Like, Trout hits that first inning tank, and you're just like, yeah, so this is going to unravel, like, immediately. You already knew it was going to.
Yeah. I mean, Patrick Sandoval is your opening day starter. Like,
you know who the leadoff hitter was for the Orioles? You know who it was.
The leadoff hitter for the Orioles?
Yeah.
Gunnar?
It was Gunnar.
Yeah.
He issued a 4-pitch walk to Gunnar. It was lefty on lefty.
You can't do that. You cannot do that.
4 pitches lefty on lefty. You don't even give him something to foul off.
Yeah, and then who hits 2? Adley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess what that was? Single to right field.
I was going to say double in the gap, but I can't remember.
No, it wasn't a double because Gunnar went first to third.
Oh, so yeah, it was single.
Because it's Gunnar. He's going first to third anywhere you hit the ball.
Of course.
And then I think there was some kind of out, and then it was bases loaded, and you're just like, this is what's going on now. He was at 51 pitches through 2 innings, and you're just like,
good start for them.
You're just like, damn, this was your opening day guy. Like,
yeah, the Orioles beat the brakes off the Angels. Like, it's
beat the hell out of them. It is what you expected. But the number of runs the just sheer number of runs, you're just like, holy hell, how do you let that happen?
It's called not having a single pitcher. Like,
yeah, that's true. I mean, and the thing is, when Reed Detmers threw that no hitter, I think everyone thought, oh, maybe this is a guy. He's
he's
just
not.
not. He's
He's
just
not.
not. And like that sucks for them, but it's like your front office has no idea how to draft. Your ownership doesn't care. Your ownership didn't even care when you had the two best players in the history of the sport, and you decided to ignore that and never make the playoffs.
Yep. And
Like
I will still
that's
hold to this day that should be criminal negligence and somebody should be going to jail.
it. Should yeah, he should be going to jail. That's disgusting.
Yep.
Like oh my god, it's so infuriating. So do we want to talk about the Oakland Athletics, who have more wins than some certain teams in baseball?
True. I wanted to before we get into the A's because I want that to be the end cap because I want that to be the nightcap of things.
It should be the nightcap. It's a fun. It's a fun nightcap.
I want to just talk about the Blue Jays and the Rays splitting.
Oh yeah, that was a fun series.
That was a very fun series.
Bench clearing brawls, dude. We're gonna have okay. If there's anything that tells you that this season is gonna be fun, we're 3 days in. We've had multiple bench clearing brawls, a ton of walk offs. It's been an electric 3 days.
It's been electric opening weekend. Opening weekend has been great, and the Blue Jays versus Rays is a good way of putting it that because all the Blue Jays and the Rays did was just take turns beating the freak out of each other. Like it was just like it's like rock. It was almost like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, where like they're each hitting each other, and then like one's just head comes off.
That is like, a perfect description of that.
It was a perfect like they were just beating each other to death. Both like it was either one game the Rays beat the Blue Jays to death. The next day, Blue Jays beat the Rays to death. The day after that, the Rays beat the Blue Jays to death. It was just like okay, this is just beating after beating after beating, and I don't know what to do with my hands. Like it was so fun. I mean,
it's a lot of like Genesis Cabrera got a 3-game suspension already. Like we're just into the season.
Yep, and that's a good thing to be at for baseball. And like there was also some good signs that came from this. Like for example, Vladdy Jr. hitting a ball into orbit. Like he literally took a ball 450 dead center.
I knew I had to send you that because I was like immediately after he hit it, I was like, "Did you see the home run?" Because it was a nuke.
Nuke wasn't like
that was an understatement. Nuke was an understatement.
Oppenheimer should have been about that home run is what it should have been.
Yeah.
Like it should have been like they're cutting like they're like 10, 9, 8, 7, 3, 2, 1 and it's just that ball. Just hitting a ball to the moon because that ball was crushed and he's been putting stuff up. I mean, I'm hoping that this is the Vladdy we're getting. He got four hits and 11 at bats.
Potential.
He does. I mean, he's done it before. If it wasn't for a guy named Shohei Ohtani, he would have an MVP in his trophy case. Like he's got that potential, and every year in the minor leagues, you look at his minor league numbers, and you're just like, what in the hell were they doing waiting so long to bring him up?
He's only 24.
Yeah, 25.
Oh, he's 25
the only thing that's funnier than 24. Yeah. So, I mean, but yeah, he's only 25. And, like, if he can get back to that, we're talking about comparing him to his father again. Like, we can talk about how he's Vlad Guerrero Sr. Like, actually, Vlad Guerrero Sr. with a shitload more power. Like, Vlad Guerrero Sr. got it done by making a lot of contact. Vlad Guerrero Jr. did it by towing a wagon behind him and hitting balls 490 feet. Like, it's... Like, and if we get that, that's what we want. Like, that would be... Yeah. Could you imagine the AL East if the Orioles are who the Orioles are? The Rays are just the Rays. Like, the Rays are just... They're just the Rays.
They're gonna win 90 games somehow.
Yeah, I don't know how. Don't tell me a single player on their team. And somebody on their team is going to have a 950 OPS that we've never heard of, ever. And then their pitching staff... Right. Yeah, and their ace is going to have a sub-2 ERA and be contending for a Cy Young. Like, just don't even tell me. And then the Blue Jays are who the Blue Jays can be, and then the Yankees are continue to do what they're doing. That's like, oh my god, could the NL East be so fun? Like, it would be such a fun division if that's what happens.
I mean, and you see, the thing is, both Eastern divisions in the entire sport of baseball have the potential to be the most fun in the entire sport.
Completely agree.
Because you have the Braves and the Phillies that hate each other, and will play each other hard every single game. And even if it yeah, there's the anomaly where one team blows the other out, and like that's what I'm going to lead myself to believe the first two games were because I do think that the third game was more of a true reflection of what these two teams are.
I agree. Like I like to give you shit, but that's truly
Yeah,
how I think how it's going to shape up.
and it's like the Phillies and the Mets. We both hate each other.
Yep.
The Nationals, I mean, they're in a rebuild.
They get a participation trophy.
They do. The Marlins can be good.
Yeah.
But and like if every team in the entire division just like everyone hates each other, you have like such a great thing for the entire sport.
Exactly.
Like just everyone hating each other. Look, we're not endorsing any kind of violence. Never.
No. But we're
like,
we're encouraging competition.
Like competition that breeds like such a like competitive fire in there where you hate the other fan and it's just like you can like talk shit the entire game and that's fine as long as you're not being violent. That's fine. Like shit talking is normal in a sport.
Yeah.
You get there and you're just like fired the hell up. You're like, oh my god, my team's doing this, that, and the other thing. We're so much better than you at this. And like you can go back and forth for hours.
I mean, think about what we've done done this podcast. You talk some shit about Luis Sever, or I'm sorry, not Luis Severino because he sucks.
He was terrible.
Yeah, he sucks. Yeah. Sorry, Mets. I know you guys thought you got a steal. He sucks.
Yeah, he was terrible.
But like you shots fired at Luis Castillo, I bring your words right back in your face. Like that's exactly how we do things. Like
exactly.
Like, and that's
the fun of the sport. It's the fun of the sport.
Fun of things in general. Like I like. Maybe it's because we're both going to be lawyers and we like to argue and yeah, but I think it's fun. Like we're going to talk smack. Trust me, when the Phillies and the Cardinals play each other this series or this year, I'm probably going to be sad. But if it all pans out, if things go the way the baseball gods should make it go, and I pray to the right baseball gods, it will be shit talking the whole time. Like
it'll be shit talking the whole time, but like the Bryce Harper 470-foot shot off of Michaelis is gonna kill you.
Hey, and then Lance Lynn shoving it up Harper's ass is gonna be even better.
I'm gonna lose my mind if that happens.
Lance Lynn deals a freaking golden sombrero to Bryce Harper.
I think you'd be like on cloud 9 at that point. You'd be ascending.
I'd be more. I'd be just Ricky Bobby. Just I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah, I don't know.
Keep him down here, and then he strikes him out again. I'd just be like, I don't know what to do with my hands. It would just be because I'd be so confused. Like it just doesn't make sense.
We might have to go live for that series.
We probably should. If we get any followers other than the people from third world countries who are looking for a visa, we will go live for that. So
it would be fun. It would be fun as hell.
If you're following, comment if you want us to go live for that. Yeah. Not if you're in the third world looking for a visa. Like we will. You know what? If you actually do listen religiously, we'll go live for you too. Like just tell us that you're actually listening, not just following my Instagram for whatever reason.
Yeah.
For some reason, we both look like.
That's getting cut.
Yeah, that's probably not going to make it.
That's getting cut.
Oh. That's getting cut from the episode.
We're gonna cut from the episode. Yeah, that's
because otherwise I will not have a career. I'm just gonna cut that whole section.
Yeah, cut it.
All right, so let's rewrap things up to the A's, the nightcap, the Oakland A's with old Polly Punch-Outs and whatever their other team nicknames are.
At this point, it doesn't really matter. It's the Oakland A's.
JJ Day, yeah.
1-3.
They're 1-3.
Fourth in the AL West.
Look, they're on pace to win more games than the Houston Astros at this point.
Currently, yes.
Would I take that as a bet? No, I would not.
No, God, no. Absolutely the hell not.
Ipe, we would not bet your money on that.
No, neither would Shohei.
True.
Scott Barlow, with the loss, a 9.2 .0 ERA. JJ Bleday hit a triple this game. Let's think about that. And he took away a home run from J-Ram. So this guy had himself a game.
And actually, their starter Paul Blackburn went deep. 7 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, no earned runs, 3 hits. I like it. I like it.
That's like they were up 3-0 in this game. The fact that it fell apart after Blackburn.
Wait, why? I didn't look at this. Esteury Ruiz, why'd you have to go off after I dropped you? 2 for 4.
Dude, that's just fantasy. That's just fantasy as a whole.
I just dropped you literally yesterday, and now I'm regretting it. I'm gonna have to pick you back up because you're gonna steal a lot of bases. Because I have nobody who will ever steal bases on my team. My team's the Thumpers, is what my team is.
Yeah. The way they walked this off is funny as hell. Cleveland comes back, ties it in. Where is this? Is this the top of the 8th? Ties it in the end off a Josh Naylor single, and J-Ram scored. Bottom of the 9th, walk off. Abraham Toro walks. Daryl Hernay. I don't even know how to pronounce this name. Scores Shea Langoliers to third, Lawrence Butler to second. Bases loaded walk from your closer to send. You didn't even put Clase in, which I understand. It's the Athletics, but
it's the most Oakland A's way to win a ball game.
Blowing a 3-0 lead to end up winning on a walk-off walk. Yeah, that's very Oakland A's.
That's very, very Oakland A's. Yep, that's honestly all I have to say about that. Like,
I got nothing
A's
else.
Won a game. Yeah,
the A's won a game. It might be one of the 20 they win this season, and the fact that they won it on a walk-off walk, that just makes almost too much sense.
Yep, that's Oakland A's. Like they are going to play 162 baseball games.
They're gonna play them.
They're gonna play 162 baseball games. Are they gonna be good baseball games?
Absolutely the hell not.
No,
it's gonna be some of the worst baseball you've ever seen in your life, and you're just gonna have to deal with it if you're an Athletics fan. It looked like they had like 200 fans in the Coliseum today.
I'm actually shocked they had that many.
Yeah, they reported the attendance at like 2,000, and like there's just absolutely no way that was true.
No chance. There's no chance. They were counting the possums that were in the stands too.
That would make sense. John Fisher, sell the team
to the owners of the casinos in Las Vegas so they can actually spend some money and make the team good.
So sell the team to anyone that actually cares about the team. Like,
sure.
Good God. Yeah. This is pathetic. Like, your team is terrible. Your payroll hasn't risen above.
Oh. What was that text I sent you the other day? Their payroll is $40 million for the year, I believe.
Oh, I remember that one. Hold on, I gotta scroll back for it now. Damn, we sent the bottle of Jack, the hammer, and the revolver multiple times today. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Well, yeah, think of what just happened with both of our teams.
Yep, I know.
Okay. Justin Havens put this out on Twitter. Okay. I know that. Did you find it?
No, I did not.
Okay, let me see.
It was Justin Havens?
Yes, it was Justin Havens. I have to find this because it was absolutely hilarious. Okay, so the Oakland A's payroll this year is slated to be $47 million. $30 million less than the next closest team. To put that into perspective, Shohei Ohtani, if he was getting paid the $70 million a year, would be getting paid more than the entire Oakland A's. $47 million. Zach Wheeler is getting $5 million less than that for his extension for 1 year. That is just bad for baseball.
It's terrible for baseball, especially for this being a team that actually competed in the playoffs in the early 2000s.
Lost Brendan. How is it that he can disconnect every time? Well, this shall be a pause break. That would be great for an ad, but we cannot do an ad because we have nobody to do ads for. So while we wait for Brendan to come back, we will sit here in silence, meditating. And he's gone. He gone. I just realized that y'all can see my hats. Heyo, he's back.
That would have been great for.
That would have been great. What would have been great?
It would have been great for an ad.
Yeah. Oh, did you actually hear me say that?
Yeah, I did. I heard you say it. I was like,
right.
oh, Bird. He's right. Would have been great.
Would have been great for an ad. So welcome back, and I guess also goodbye to everybody.
Yeah. No. That was a. I think that was our longest episode. I mean,
think
and to be fair, first weekend, that's kind of expected.
Yeah,
like it's kind of what I expected.
And also our weekend episodes and our episodes that we plan on doing Sunday nights / Mondays if we have to, we plan on being longer episodes. The midweek episode gonna be much shorter, just kind of a recap what any big news. Other than that, like, share, follow on YouTube, Instagram. On YouTube, it's at the Baseball Diaries pod. Instagram, at the Baseball Diaries. Twitter at the BB Diaries. I think that's it. Oh, Spotify, the Baseball Diaries, which is also getting edited out.
Yeah, no, that's definitely out of there.
All right. Later, everybody.
Peace.